Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday Evening Spooky or Morning Spooky or Midday Spooky, wherever you are in the world. We are about to play a cool game, which Chev is going to run. Tell us about it, Chev.
Hey, my name is Chev. Today we are in part 2 of Twin Falls, which is a horror investigation themed like horror / cosmic horror / investigation system that we are using to tell a story about spookiness and intrigue in the town of Willow Bluff, which is the kind of shared horror related setting that Zero has been putting together in a bunch of the other games here on the C Plus network. And so currently the party is investigating some shenanigans that are going on in the town, and once we get everybody introduced, we can talk about have somebody do a recap for people who are just joining us for this time. So for those of you who this might be your first time catching a session, this is a game about being a team of specialists and experts who are investigating things that are out of this world and trying to also keep a low profile at the same time, although that's usually not always possible.
Some people keep flashing their badges every time they go anywhere. Anyway.
I am Chev, and let's go with a whip round of introductions. Let's start with Warwick.
Hello, my name's Warwick Zero, or Warwick. I don't mind, either way is good. I normally stream on Twitch. And yeah, I'm playing LT Harry Primrose. I'm a Army Ranger, and I'm a bit of charmer. I'm able to talk to people quite well and sort of make them my friend, I would say, I think.
As long as they're lonely Minnesotan gym coaches.
Yeah. Apart from that, then I got no hope.
Hi, I'm the Backwin. I'm playing Barnabas Crodmeyer. He is a scientist, and he does sciencey things. He had different hair in the last episode, and this hair is the same hair. It's just you're seeing it differently.
He had a rough day.
Night. He may have tried some of the energy.
No.
All right, I am SJ Sidekick. I am playing Agent Nora Ryan, who is an FBI agent. And she doesn't really like the spooky stuff, but here she is. And yes, she flashes her badge a lot, so people just let her do whatever.
Yep.
So far it's worked. So
far it's worked because it's only been one day. I am Zero Daylight or Michael. I am usually DM, GM, narrator, keeper, master of ceremonies, whatever. But today I get to play. Yay! Thanks, Chef. You can find me here at live.cpluscontent.tv a couple times a week, running and playing games. And you can also find me over at the Juices TV program and Lissa T channels on Twitch every Sunday evening, where we do more weird, silly stuff for people. So yeah, I am online a lot.
Cool. So thank you, everybody. So does anyone in particular want to take a stab at recapping last session, or would you rather just have me do it?
I can share Max's perspective.
Okay.
So Max was required to fly business class from Stockholm to Minnesota, and that's all he remembers. No. We have been summoned to the central Minnesotan town / village of Willow Bluff, which Max has been at before, to investigate a seemingly banal death of a high school football player. But as we investigated, we discovered that the circumstances of his death are not what they appeared. He had some sort of strange formation of glass in his tissues that was likely related to the fact that he died from a simple tackle. We studied that glass, determined that it had unusual quantum properties. We interrogated the ME, medical examiner or coroner, to determine that he had given a piece of that glass to one of his friends who is a YouTuber and amateur scientist. So we went to go visit that guy and found him being super duper weird. He was wearing shoes inside in Minnesota. So he's clearly a pod person. Anyway, turns out, yeah, he was studying this thing with lasers. It was making weird patterns on the wall. He was also scarfing up, 5-hour energy and 6 hex-hour energy or something. A liquid and a packet that looked super sus. He tried to get all aggro when we insisted that we take the sample of the glass, but the agents convinced him otherwise. Turns out he had another piece of it. We got all the glass, we left. We went and investigated the football field where the young man had died, discovered there was some sort of strange powder where his body had been found. There was an encounter with the coach that involved more bad showing. And we decided, hey, we're in for a penny, in for a pound. We went and searched all the lockers in the high school, found more of that 5-hour energy and hex-hour energy stuff. And Lieutenant Primrose made friends with this coach. We then said, look, this stuff in this packet is real weird. It has a picture of Willow Bluff on the back, but the geographical landmarkers don't match up. So there's something hinky going on. We found the source, or what seems to be the company that is the source, some sort of weird like nutraceutical startup company, probably in league with the devil, or potentially, as we learned from the coach, some sort of weird cult, the cult of Ram, because the young man was making a weird tapping as he was dead or dying and chanting Ram. And so we think that there is some sort of, Dr. Crodmeyer and I think that there is some sort of cultic behavior because the cult believes in the mirror world and they want to, who knows, go there, bring Ram here, do something that's probably not super nice. And the trunk of my car, which is parked across the lake, is now full of all of this 5 and hex-hour energy stuff that we could find. Because we don't want to be near it, but we don't want it getting in the hands of more people. I think that's it.
Yep, that is it. So where we left off last time was, I think you all had, raided the Circle Q and bought up as much of the energy product as you possibly could, but apologies. Let me see. We were getting close to the end of the session, so we didn't. You didn't talk to anyone at the convenience store. I think you just kind of said like, "Hey, that's." Because I think somebody had mentioned about like, hey, like let's talk to somebody, figure out where this is coming from, but then there wasn't time for that. So let's just say that like you all you quick stopped in, you grabbed all the stuff, and then you all went to bed, and we had a nice little scene of everybody splitting up, and then the moon was rising over the horizon, and a sinister but familiar kind of double gleam was coming off of the moon. So I guess my first question for you all is like, what would a typical night for you all look like in these circumstances? So Max, I know that Syntech put you up in a special accommodation. Harry and Nora, I believe you both got rooms at the hotel. And Barnabas, I don't remember if you were also at the hotel.
There's only one choice.
Okay.
Unless you're sleeping in the woods or an abandoned cabin or renting a lake house.
Car and just, down all the energy.
Okay.
So you're in the Willow Bluff Inn bed and breakfast.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to sleep in the car and drink all of the energy to stay awake?
No. I have hair problems. No. I don't think Max would like my hair shedding all over his car.
That stuff will make your hair fall out even quicker. Okay. As you go, so let's start with the three of you, Harry, Barnabas, and Nora, arriving back at the hotel. Harry and Nora, did you have time to put your stuff away in the room before you left originally, or did you like leave your stuff in the car?
No, we said we basically took everything out, set everything up, either put it into staged it into the vehicle, or staged it in our rooms.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, okay. You as you go in, I would say Nora and Harry. Barnabas, are you a really alert person?
Somewhat alert.
Somewhat alert. 50. Yeah, that's 50. Alertness 40. Warwick. So y'all are pretty alert. Yeah. As you all go into your rooms, all three of you separately notice that things are subtly different as you from where you left them. Like it's like you could have easily missed it, but you are all quite alert to your surroundings. I'm not even going to make you roll for this. It's subtle stuff, like the zipper is not where you would usually put it on a finished bag, or like, you know, you wouldn't usually put your bags in that order on the dresser, or something like, you know, the angle of something was off. It's small things, it's little things, but something about your possessions, all three of you notice separately, has been disturbed. And
Yeah.
let me see. 0, Max, give me an alertness check.
You're muted, by the way.
I'm not alert, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
I want to hear you guys. Didn't want you guys to hear me grappling around. No, 42.
Okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything different. You probably wouldn't expect that, like, you know, Syntex arranged housing. Like, you probably wouldn't have even like expected there to be any possibility of somebody getting into this place.
Oh no, there's maid service. If I see anything moved, I just assume someone came in and cleaned.
Yeah. So you don't notice anything different. But the rest of you, what's probably one of the first things that night that you realize when you get back in is that someone's been going through your stuff.
Yeah, is management here?
Yes. There's always at this time of night, I would say probably like the day staff has wrapped up, and now it's, you know, just probably one person who is there to, you know, handle emergencies and clog toilets and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna
man the
be
front desk.
talking to them.
Okay.
Maybe June and Julie are out of town and it's Jeff.
Okay.
Sorry, you can't do that for tomorrow, but that would be silly.
I don't know that I could do a good Jeff impression. But
Just
it could
pretend
be
you're
like,
baked.
Huh?
Just pretend you're super baked.
Oh, if he was here to ask, I would ask. Yeah. It's probably just it's so as Nora, as you go out to the front desk, it's a teen that you have never seen before. You know, in the lieu of it's an unestablished character that is, you know, hired for the night shift for you know, like one of those temporary like jobs of like, this is not really an important position, but, you know, so we're just going to have somebody build up some experience and get some pocket money here. One of those kinds of jobs. a teen kind of like working the front desk, mostly just hanging out on their phone as you come in, feet up on the desk, not really paying attention to anything that's going on in the room, and they don't even really look up at you.
I notice anything missing? Things are just moved around, right? Nothing is gone.
Yeah, nothing is gone.
Okay.
Everything is just moved around.
And it's clear they weren't just lifting it up to clean, they went through the stuff.
Yeah. Like once you actually like open stuff up, it's clear that it's not just the outside that has been like rummaged around. It's not like, the TSA went through your bags and they like left everything in a mess. It just kind of shoved it all back in and squished it back together. But it's more like, they tried to replicate like the way, like, the folding and the placement and stuff, but it was like they didn't get it quite right.
I'm gonna walk up to the desk and aggressively just tap the bell.
Okay. While you're doing that, Harry and Barnabas, are you just how do you react to finding out that your stuff has been tampered with?
I'll be a bit concerned, and first thing I'll be looking around my room, seeing if I can sort of notice any like cameras or anything hidden or otherwise. Just sort of see if because if someone's gone in and not taken anything, they may have planted something potentially.
Okay. So you're going to be looking around. Barnabas, How about you?
Well, just see if anything's taken.
Okay.
I don't have that much, so.
Okay. So let's talk about let's run Nora's encounter here at the front desk, and then we'll come back and finish up with what Harry and Barnabas are doing during their investigations. So Nora, as you walk up, you can see it's this it's like lanky but well-built kid who with like kind of like puffy curly blonde hair that is just kind of at the desk, just like, oh. So and he just kind of like very, very casually just kind of is like, yes, up, what's up? And like, like waves to you as you come in.
And my body language shows I'm not amused right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to walk in, I have to aggressively ring the bell, look at him. They're like, who's been in my room?
Room service?
Room service is in maid service or a random room service? Because I didn't order anything to my room.
Yeah, the maids. I mean, they go in to like clean out just change the bed sheets, and they do that mint on the pillow thing, I think. Like, I don't really know what they do. I just know that they go in to clean the room. So it's probably them. Like, they probably just had to move your stuff to clean the room.
Oh, well, it's clear they didn't just move it. They went through it. I'm going to need a name, and I'm going to want no more room service, maid service in my room and for the rest of my stay.
Yeah, what room are you in?
Oh, it's whatever room I'm in.
He kind of searches around, pulls open a couple drawers and grabs a pencil and a piece of paper, and he's writing down like room, blah, 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 blah. Cleaning service, went through their stuff. Yeah, well, okay. I'll tell my boss in the morning when they get in. It's not really anything I can do. Then that's a shame.
Have your management give me a call.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave him a message.
All right, I'm gonna storm back up to my room, annoyed.
Harry and Barnabas, are you looking for like any specific kind of stuff, or like just like anything in general?
Anything in general, really, just to see if I can notice anything that's been placed or otherwise.
Okay.
Probably gonna go to LT's room as well and see if his stuff is all messed up or if it's just me.
Okay. So you come in to the room, or I guess you knock on the room. Harry, I assume that you let her in.
Yeah, I let her in. It's like, Has anyone been going through your stuff? Because I've
Yes.
just seems like
I just talked to
Okay.
the kid downstairs about it and gonna have management give me a call. I don't know if it was the maid service or somebody else that happens to have access to these rooms, but I didn't see anything missing, but it's clear they went through the stuff. It wasn't just moving it around to clean.
Yeah, no. As far as I know, I can't see anything that's gone. But I'm just a bit concerned if they've left anything, like any cameras. Did they've left anything? Do you know, or is it just they just move stuff around? It just seems a bit odd.
It's a
Like
good idea. I should probably check my room for bugs. At least I'm familiar with where you would place that kind of thing.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you so are you going to search Harry's room first or your own room?
Help him check his room first, and then we'll check mine.
Okay. Both of you give me a search as you're looking around. Harry, I think yours is a 20, and Nora,
Yes.
you've got a 50?
I hope so, because I got a 43.
I got a 57.
Oh, yep.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I made it. Mine's 50. I got 43.
I'm not sure what was mine or not.
I tried to minimize my camera and accidentally
Oh, I
killed
thought you
the
knew.
window.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like, what are you doing?
I did it on purpose.
It's
Hiding
like a
all
big
from us.
surprise. I went through your stuff.
Here we go. My apologies.
And we do have one of everything, except for major banes, which we have two of. So just pointing it out, Harry, if you wanted to bump that down a bit effectively.
Hopefully I
I
can
need a
find
lot
it.
because I got
I
57.
made my
and I
roll.
only got... Yeah, that's a good point. SJ made their roll. I'm
Okay,
happy.
cool.
Oh, SJ, you made it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you crit? Or
I don't really understand crits. I got a 43 and I have
oh, okay.
50 for search.
Yeah, it takes double numbers. So if it had been 44, then yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So SJ, Nora, as you're looking around the room, you look through your stuff to make sure that there's nothing kind of snuck into, like, if you brought like a book to read or something, nothing hidden in, like, the end page of the book or something. Next most obvious places you're looking, you don't find anything. And then as you're looking, you kind of look at the ceiling and you notice that it's one of those, like, at some point they did it with kind of like a stucco-ish kind of texture on the ceiling, and like there's a little pinprick in one spot in the corner of the room that if you weren't looking for it, it would just blend into the general stucco-ness of the ceiling. And it, from your experience that it would be big enough to put a tiny little, like, recent high-tech pinhole camera to look through.
Ah, great.
Where am I when this is happening? Or has Nora gone back to their room first?
I imagine that I thought Nora was searching her
Checking
own
your-
room.
Oh, no, we were checking his room first because I was already
Okay, yeah,
there.
that is the same. Yeah, you found that in
Okay.
Harry's room.
Okay. What's that? What have you noticed?
Looks like a bug. It's a camera or it's just a mic?
It is a camera, and as you get up close to it, you can see that there's a smaller hole next to it that has a mic in it. But it looks like they drilled the hole a little bit bigger for the camera, and it is a lot. The camera was visible enough to your trained eye.
Looks like both video and audio. Is it connected to anything?
You can't see from this side.
All right.
It's kind of like poking down through the drywall.
Yeah, I'm gonna yank that sucker out.
Okay. You go in with a knife,
Probably
start
multi-tool.
carving away at the drywall. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of wires and a little, kind of electronic package off the back. you might be able to tell if it's like actively broadcasting or just storage if you had somebody who is like really experienced with electronics, or you could try and investigate it yourself. Take a look at it. It's not immediately obvious just from looking at the casing if it's like,
Yeah, I'm assuming this is different than what the FBI uses.
Yeah, this is a different, like, it's obviously a bug, but like you don't see any identifying marks, and it's not a precise model that you have ever seen before. I would say Nora, I think, is probably more familiar with the different ways, like the different types of like surveillance equipment that could be used and like are out there like on the market than Harry. That's my assumption, given your backgrounds. So like Harry, you definitely don't recognize it, but I mean, I don't know that you would know a difference. Nora, you know that this is like either a custom job or a brand new product that you haven't seen before or something different.
All right, I might take a picture of it and send it to for later. I might show it to somebody else I know.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess next up is finishing searching his room, then my room, and then we're probably gonna head over to Max and Barnabas and check their rooms.
Okay. Are you searching for the same kind of thing?
Yeah, first I'm gonna check if it's in the same place, essentially.
Yeah. Now that you know what to look for, same deal. It is, you find it in Harry's room, you find it in Barnabas's room, almost in exactly the same place. It's positioned kind of in a corner of the room so that it has good sight lines to, pretty much everywhere in the room except for, this is an older building. Does every room have its own bathroom, or is there like a communal bathroom?
Yep.
Okay.
They had to do that.
Okay. The only thing you can't see into is like the bathroom, but everywhere else you've got sight lines to the whole room from the spot that they chose.
What does Max have to say about us coming into his room and finding a camera?
Wait, nothing was taken from Barnabas.
Is Max there though? I thought Max was.
I'm in an apartment. I've assumed that someone has come in and tidied up. I'm probably asleep.
Yeah, you're in an apartment.
You could call him if you want.
Yeah, we'll probably call him.
Yeah, Barnabas, nothing was taken from your room. So this whole time, did you go and talk to Nora and Harry at all, or were you just searching through or looking through your stuff to see if anything was taken?
Yeah, no, just Barnabas was making sure nothing was taken. And then decided to, because if people are going to touch his stuff, he'll just keep it with him. I didn't bring that much, so it all fits in a briefcase.
Okay. So as you're packing up the last of your stuff that you're going to take with you, that's probably when Harry and Nora come over and tell you what happened. They do their search and they find the.
I would think we'll go straight in, not even say anything. So not open.
Oh dear!
Just go straight
what are you doing? We're not going to get the deposit back.
Nora's just pulling out wires.
For free.
I didn't know you were a carpenter, agent.
Yeah. It's a lovely skylight now.
We think. I sort of call over Barnabas sort of away. I think the place has been bugged. But I'm guessing your stuff's been moved, or have you noticed?
Yes. I thought maybe it just got shifted around, but
yeah, no.
I don't like bugs. Maybe we should find a different establishment.
You know what? Good idea.
I think we need to get an exterminator in the morning.
Well.
Are you showing the bugs to Barnabas?
Yeah, I'll show him and explain, like, hey, here's the video, here's the audio. I'm not really sure beyond that, but...
Barnabas is just going to stare very annoyed at Agent Nora.
And
then
you alright, Barnabas?
Take Lieutenant Primrose out of the room and go into the hallway, I guess. If you found these
I'll stay here.
these wiretaps, which have audio and video, why didn't you leave them in there so we could give them false information?
Didn't actually think about that. We were just concerned that they were there. We were going to get it out and find out what it was.
Well, harm is done now. Oh well.
If only you had a scanner that could determine if it was weird or not.
I left it in my work locker.
You don't have one.
You don't know what I have back at my job.
Yeah, I definitely already thought about leaving it in, but at this point, considering it watched me look for it and watched me go through my stuff knowing it was moved, figured the best course of action was to just take it out and get rid of it and be able to study it rather than just leaving it in and pretending to give false information.
Well, nothing here in this place. Well, that was a bust.
Yeah, like literally look up, see where the bug is, like, oh, yeah, I guess there's nothing here.
I think while we're outside as well, I'm guessing we've got Max's contact.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. We'll send a text. Just send.
Oh, I'm calling his ass.
Are you calling? All right. I'm there, and I look over back in the room, and I see you on your phone. I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, third ring.
Yeah.
Can
Yes?
you step outside and take this call real quick?
I'm sleeping. I'm not dressed to be outside. Hold on a second.
What I asked.
Out catching, wondering, like...
He's got to take his nightgown and his nightcap off.
Yeah.
Put on real clothes.
Got one of those
Where's that
floppy
damn
ones
candle?
that goes like
Yes.
onto his shoulder.
And I pull out a single candle and walk outside. All right. I'm on the balcony.
So-
Will that do?
Maybe. It's fine. We'll probably be headed over to check your place anyway.
Check
All of
my
our
place.
rooms. Yes, all of our rooms. Clearly somebody moved our stuff around and went through our stuff. And then we found bugs in each of our room with both audio and video.
Ah, did you recover the devices?
Yes,
Ah, cool. Well, you should bring them with.
we'll do. Just careful what you say inside your room
Yeah.
till we figure it out.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna head over to Max's.
I mean, it's nice. They turned one of the big old Victorian mansions in downtown into like a sixplex.
It's annoying because now me and LT have to bring our stuff back down.
Yep.
Because every time there's like sensitive items, you can't just like leave it locked in the car. You have to keep it wherever you're going.
Max thinks that you're all coming to stay with him. It's like, really?
Oh no, I'm
Maybe.
You pull up and then you have these duffel bags and he's waving at you from the, well, your accommodation's not to your liking.
You can say that.
All right,
All right.
I'll buzz you in. Zzz.
cool. We'll head up. I'm gonna search his place.
I'm going to knock on the door like a polite person.
You busted.
It's open.
Hold on a second. Okay.
Once Max opens the door, his rooms are a lot nicer than y'all's. He got a much better deal on his accommodations with his stay here in Willow Bluff. As you're looking around, you see, like, you don't know what everything looked like before, so you can't see that there's like, evidence of things being moved or things being touched, and you definitely can't tell if anything is missing. You see in a similarly placed spot in Max's room is also the same setup, same camera and microphone pinhole in the wall or the ceiling in a spot with good sight lines of the rest of the room.
All right. Yep. I'm gonna show him to Max. Like, yeah, guess they managed to get you too. So it's not just our hotel. Clearly, some outside.
I'll have to speak with Syntax Security. We shouldn't have allowed just any old person in. I mean, executives stay when they visit. Who knows what anyone's talking about at any moment.
LT, you might want to send a message to the handler, let them know about it, and make sure it wasn't from them keeping an eye on us. If it was, too late now. Let's look it all out. But
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, I send a message to the handler, just sort of say, FYI, we found some bugs in our rooms, audio and visual. Just making sure it wasn't you guys.
Are you texting or are you calling?
I think I'll be text, just sort of in case me saying that or something gets caught by, because we're not sure if there's anything here.
Okay. It takes a minute or two, and you don't get a response back immediately by text, and then after a couple of minutes, the phone rings.
Hello.
I thought I told you all to keep a low profile.
Hey, wait. We didn't choose to be bugged.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you know how many favors that I called in to make sure that your arrival in town was as silent as possible? Like, considerable resources went towards getting all of you into town unnoticed to anyone that you didn't directly tell your name to. There's no way. Just I'm tempted to just call this whole thing off. Okay, where are you now?
We're at Max's place, or wherever Max is staying.
Okay, that's probably the safest spot. Syntech will have the best security. If you need to, the rooms at the hotel will still be there, but I recommend not staying there. I can focus our security around Max's lodgings. I haven't gotten any reports of anything else suspicious going on in town. Nobody running ops. It doesn't mean there aren't any. There's just none that have come to my attention. Max, you're gonna have to put up with house guests for the next day or two. And
all of that sounds like a not me problem. No.
Yeah,
fine.
nope.
I'm sure one of these couches folds out.
This is your problem.
I'm sure one of these couches folds out, and one of them someone can sleep on.
Yeah. There might be some cots available. Meet me in the morning for a full debrief of what you did yesterday. But clearly, whatever you did, it has brought a lot of attention to yourselves. I recommend trying to be much more careful in the future. We don't know what forces might be out there moving.
Max goes.
She hangs up.
Behind, while this conversation behind everyone, Max goes and puts on a pair of sunglasses and pulls out his wallet and pretends to flash everyone his badge, and then looks at you guys. Look on you. Look at me. Look at my badge.
Syntech, and
I'm all Syntech is here though. It's not unusual to have a Syntech employee walking around. Anyway, it's fine.
I don't know.
Max, are we safe here?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
we don't have like anti-sniper glass or anything like that.
Probably the safest.
Not at this facility.
Town. Yeah.
There's a safer place. There's a very secure facility out in the woods. If we want to go out there, it's just that it would be complicated. There are a variety.
The safest place that is also a hotel.
Yes. And that doesn't have paramilitary security to ensure that nobody, including federal agents, knows what's going on out there. Never mind.
Well, anyway, something's happened along the way. People found out about us, potentially what we're doing. on all this trouble to bug our rooms.
Very quickly, by the way.
Yep.
I know
Very
she
quick.
said.
Within
I know
a
she
day.
said that. Oh, I paid all this money to make sure whatever, but
I know,
that
right?
was fast. Even if we were flashing the badge around, to find out who we were, where we were staying, and bug all of our different rooms where we're staying in 2 different locations.
Yes.
And it's not like we all gave our names.
Who would be, one, interested in watching, like very, very invested in watching what goes on in Willow Bluff, aside from Syntech? Who would, 2, have financial resources and potentially technological resources to deploy high-end bugging equipment? And 3, who is the weird nutraceutical startup company that is responsible for Hex Hour Energy?
You have a fair point, Max.
The 5-hour energy is Argyros. You did not find a maker's mark on the
Yes.
6-hour energy, or the 6 energy extreme.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But yes, yeah,
Max
yeah.
assumes they're the same, since they both had the same reading.
Yeah.
So, well,
I think we should sleep. Go to sleep, I think. Unless we want to carry on talking, but
I'll pull out one of the couches. I'm sure pulls out. One of them is someone can sleep on. I will go into my bedroom and close it, and then blast Wagner, because that's how Max sleeps.
That makes sense.
through the horror. No,
I will sleep on the pull-out thingy because I'm sure the special forces can sleep in the woods on rocks and they're fine.
Yeah, we could sleep anywhere. It's fine.
The couch is the couch
We
that isn't a
could,
pull-out is
but, you know,
probably more
sometimes-
comfy, but that's fine.
Nope. They're the ones flashing their badges. They can sleep on the ground.
Really, it's just me. I don't
No.
think.
There's a
Elsie, I'm
there's a
fine.
double bed
It's
from the
just-
pull-out and a couch.
Nope.
So
Yeah,
2
well,
of you
yeah.
have to share,
Nope.
but it'll be fine.
All right, we'll see how you guys do without me flashing my bed.
It's fine. I mean, it was bound to happen. So, does
The
anyone
night
murder us in our
passes.
sleep?
No, nobody.
I'm covering any mirrors near me, by the way. They're getting covered up.
Okay.
Oh
There
no!
are.
Everything is mirrors.
Welcome
Got
to
a
the
mirror on
mirror.
the ceiling.
Yes,
Oh God.
it's very retro.
It is the executive suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, the night passes uneventfully. There's the normal amount of, mirrored surfaces that a room would have. It's not like, it's not like there's like every 3 feet there's a ornate mirror or something. Nothing comes to bother you in the night. Nobody comes knocking. Nobody's driving by and stopping suspiciously or anything like that. None of you said that you were like keeping a watch or anything, but like nothing happens that would have like made you regret not having done that. The morning dawns. You all did manage to get a good few hours of sleep. It is, I think you all we probably wrapped up somewhere around like maybe 10 p.m. somewhere around there last night. And it's now the morning. And yeah, the day is open and available to you. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the mirrors are shining.
I think there's only one bathroom.
There is only one bathroom.
I think our handler said to meet them for a debrief
Yes.
in the morning. I don't know what time, if they stated a time or they'll meet us.
Okay.
But yeah.
Breakfast at the dock house? That's where we met before.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's
Sounds good.
the place to meet.
I mean,
You're,
it's not the
hang-
Sweet and Sour Cafe.
Oh,
But that's
what was
actually, the Sweet and Sour Cafe is within walking distance. It's so much nicer. it's this strange kind of Nordic Vietnamese fusion restaurant.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
They have like 45 different flavors of meatballs, but they do a nice croissant and cafe au lait breakfast. Little fresh fruit, maybe some yogurt, granola, muesli.
I have like donuts.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they're $8 donuts.
There was
but
a
yeah.
ding. Was that ding important, or was that just?
Oh, the ding was you check the phone, and there is a text message from the handler saying, basically asking, "Hey, where do you want to meet?" You know, and she gives the two options: the diner or the name that has already escaped my mind.
Swede and Sour Cafe.
The Sweet and Sour Cafe.
I'm reading this text out, and I'm guessing Max is already.
Yeah, Sweet and Sour.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
It's that diner, piss him off.
Yeah, the Dock House is gross. I mean, it's the second best restaurant in town out of like 3, or 4. But it's like it's a serious drop down after Sweet and Sour Cafe.
Okay. You walk over. Nobody. Or sorry. As you're walking over, it's feels like a normal day. And you get over to the sweet and sour. It looks, for the outside, it looks like a. Actually, has it been described before in canon, or?
No, it's just that it started as a like a mobile stand, but then they bought a storefront, and it's nice, it's modern, it's relatively roomy.
Okay, it's got kind of a Swedish hunting lodge kind of vibe to it in terms of like not the architecture, but the decor. Like it's got some like fake wood fronting and stuff on the walls and like some fake columns and stuff. So it looks like everything is like hewn out of wood and rustic and never mind that it's in the middle of a small city block. But it looks pretty appealing. Once you go in, there's a server who's standing there. It's like, oh, welcome to the Sweet and Sour. Are you here for breakfast or for the coffee bar?
I think it's
just coffee for me.
Oh, full breakfast. Table for 5.
Oh.
One of our friends is joining us.
Okay, yeah. She marks. Oh, you're. Oh, okay. Yep. We've already got a table for you. If you would follow me right over this way.
Great.
And she leads you into a past the kind of like table, the front table area to a room in the back that is kind of semi-separate. It's not fully enclosed off, but it's in like a backer room, and there's some partitions in the corners that could be set up to block sight lines if needed. And the handler is sitting there with this enormous plate of waffles. And she looks up at you as you all come in. Okay, well, any more bugs?
Nope, but I'll pass her one of them so she can look at them.
She holds it up.
Like the thing is, right? Like we were talking about this last night. Like, yeah, we may can be a bit more discreet, but they've worked fast to get these in these rooms, unless they've always been here. But we're only away for a few hours, and they did all this. Like, who's got the facilities and the resources to do something like this?
She looks at. She's looking at it. I would say, Harry, you probably notice. And anybody else whose character is very attentive, but I would say Harry is probably the one that comes to mind as the most likely to notice this. She looks like this is not entirely new to her. Like, she's not looking at it with like, well, what the heck is this thing? It's more like a very kind of like neutral observation, like, not that this particular device was expected, but that things like it are not out of the unusual, or not out of the realm of unusual for her.
You know what this is, don't you? You're looking at it as though you know what this is, or who
Yes.
this is from.
I've seen some like these before. Pictures of them, one's in storage, but never retrieved from the field. Short hour battery, not meant to be used for more than a day or two. Disposable, basically. And she puts it back down. Its battery will probably run out in about 12 hours.
Right. Do you know who uses it? Is there anyone who particularly uses it, or is it just common?
Certain corners of the corporate world use these. They're not quite up to spec for government work, but they'll do the job. The only people, Syntech, Argyros, maybe some of the richer, contractors, affiliates in town. Maybe there might be some startup biotech companies or technology app companies over in the nearest city that would have the money to afford something like this and reason to use it.
I mean,
Could be any number of people.
Could be 3M, could be Best Buy. I find that unlikely. And if you think that this is how Syntech would bug us, I'm sorry. No.
Well, I mean, stranger things have happened.
I'm just looking for the waitress, hoping she comes by because I really want to order food.
As you're looking for the waitress, a couple orders arrive. I took the liberty of ordering for you while you were on your way over here. And the orders arrive a couple seconds later and arrive at the table. And it's not what you wanted. It's like maybe the third thing on the list of what you had been considering on the menu.
Pancakes. Who wants pancakes? We'll swap
good, thanks.
until we get better stuff. It's like, oh, Belgian waffle. I'll trade you pancakes for Belgian waffle. Let's go.
We get toasted.
Now, tell me what you found out yesterday. We might be able to identify how exactly your information got out.
Someone else is going to have to at my face is stuff.
Perfect. Like I said, that's an $8. It's one of those like artisan things. It was like homemade compote stuffing, chocolate ganache, not actual, and like maybe even like little gold flakes kind of like situations for breakfast. Anyway,
It's got hand-fed pork bacon, and it was smoked before it was brought out to the table for those cocktail smokers.
It's Minnesota. It's 100% for sure like a maple bacon artisanal thing. Basically a cupcake for breakfast, only fried. So yeah, we spoke to the coroner. The young man's death was almost certainly caused by some sort of quantum fluctuation or some strange material that caused glass to form in his tissues. The glass displayed a superposition of eigenstates at a macroscopic level, indicating that it has some sort of quantum cosmological oddity to it. The ME had given a sample of the glass, in fact, 2 pieces, to a local YouTube star wannabe. We tracked that person down, Lloyd. It was very odd. We recovered the samples. We swiped his hard drives. We then investigated the high school, the location of the young man's death, discovered that there was some powdery substance that also gave off a similar read where his body was. We spoke to the coach. I won't mention that someone flashed their badge. We spoke to the coach and discovered that a number of the individuals on the teens, were using this stuff. Pull out the empty things. Both give off a quantum variance, the liquid much less so than the powder. And you'll see on the back, this is a map of Willow Bluff, only these landmarks don't coincide.
Okay. she takes a look at
And Argyros is responsible for this one at least.
She takes a look at the bottle. And then she takes a look at the packet and she turns it over and you can see her face go white. Like something about the back of the packet is incredibly distressing to her. And she is looking at it.
What's that look for?
LT, can you pass the salt?
I pass the salt.
What's that look for?
She puts it down. Okay. You said that this had the stronger reading. Okay. This is priority number 1, is finding out where this came from. Do you have any leads? Do you know who's making it?
We assume Argyros, given that they're making the liquid and it shares both a quantum signature and packaging or branding. But, as was pointed out, the packets aren't labeled Argyros, but the liquid is. So we assume Argyros, which was actually our job number 1, after we spoke to the people at the Circle Q, which appears to be the local retailer that was carrying this. And bought out all their stuff and spoke to them and the folks at the school, asking them not to distribute anymore, and the folks at the school to gather any that they see, keep it in a safe location. I have a trunk full, basically, over across the lake. Someone is saturating this town with the substance.
This is incredibly bad news. Argyros is a lone wolf company right now. They've been making a lot of waves lately, throwing money around, there's been rumors that they are trying to sell themselves to Syntech. How seriously you take those rumors, I don't know.
Or they're trying to sell themselves to Black Mesa.
They're trying to sell themselves to someone. They've been making themselves appear far more influential than they really have any right to be. I'm honestly surprised that a product of theirs would be as present here. I mean, this is not exactly a major market, so I don't know why there would be so much of this stuff here, like a trunk full.
Because Syntech's headquarters are here. That's the only thing that distinguishes, it's one of the few things that distinguish Willow Bluff.
Okay. I'll look more into the Argyros connection from my end. If you can talk to them and figure out, if you can figure out where these 2 products are coming from, particularly these packets. You didn't touch this stuff, did you?
No, of course not.
You definitely didn't drink any of it, right?
Of course not. I look at Dr. Crodmeyer, who looks rough today. I mean, I didn't. Lloyd, the YouTube wannabe, certainly did.
Okay. Well, she looks at Harry and Nora. Well, you two clearly... now you understand why I wanted to make sure that you two were here. I was afraid something like this would happen, even though I really was hoping that it wouldn't. She looks over at Barnabas. Now, I know you don't have all of your facilities here, and you didn't bring a lot of equipment with you. If I could get you access to some kind of research facilities, do you think that you might be able to take a look at the composition and makeup of these drinks and these supplements?
Oh, of course I could.
Okay. I'll get started trying to see if I can get access to some of that equipment.
Why don't we just walk over to the Syntech headquarters? I mean, there's not a full facility at the operations center, but there's at least a mass spectrometer. Unless for some reason you would rather keep that part quiet.
Yes, we are, from the sounds of it, you all have made enough of a splash. I would rather keep Syntech in the dark about this for at least a little bit longer. I mean, maybe we can let them in on what's happened here once we have a lid on it. But I would caution. I mean, I can't stop you, but I would caution against letting Syntech know about any of this just yet.
Sure.
So, what do you know what we're facing yet? Do you have any more ideas, like what we're going up against? Potentially.
Oh, and she puts a hand up to her face.
Like any information we can get to help us out, like.
Not just yet. Give me an hour.
Is it the cult of rum?
She is incredibly, visibly shocked when you say that. Like she had been trying to put on a stoic face, and she just like her head whips around to you. Is like, where did you hear that name?
Oh, I read a book one time.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned when I checked out spoke to the person at the school. They said that they could hear the kid saying rum and tapping like a rhythmic beat.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's not good.
I was hoping to. Yep. Okay.
Like this is weird. This is like getting weird, and like you need to tell us something because we're going in blind at the moment.
I'm sure you talked to the people that you did. You might have noticed that some of them were not their usual selves.
Yep.
I'm sure you would not know what their usual selves was, but you could probably get a sense that
seemed off. They definitely
something was off.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the way that the cult of Ram operates. Is and she taps on the bottle. You said that you got a reading off of this stuff.
Yes.
That's because this bottle contains a portion of Ram. The mirrors that you said that you found inside of the student and on
glass.
The school field.
It was glass.
Those are Ram. At least according to the cult of Ram. They grow. The people who his adherents, they regard the consumption of pieces of Ram as a mystical or sacred act, one that, if performed over a long enough time, can give untold power. I have never heard of them spreading it in these quantities before, but usually their MO historically, you said that you read a book. I assume that you're referring to the third edition, the third folio of Nostrafisis's Records of Antiquity.
Sure.
Left out of editions past the first were more details that you would not have known. Their typical motive operation was to go into an area that their cult was not established in, approach various important figures, and offer them tainted food, tainted with pieces of Ram. And over time, they wouldn't even have to convince anyone to join their cult. They would come of their own free will. I don't know exactly like what we have been able to piece together is that the mirrors are involved, and like we never really knew exactly what they were doing to taint and spread their worship. But clearly I think that you all have found the answer here, that it's whatever is in these drinks, whatever happened to that student, that's how they do it.
Well, so either Argyros is a front for a Ramist cult, or they've been infiltrated and are being used. Either way, we should probably pay them a visit. We should definitely let Syntech know that some of the that this product has been contaminated, so none of their employees use it. What do you think?
My first instinct again is it would be easier if we could deal with this problem and not let Syntech in. I would prefer not to I prefer to keep this quiet as possible. Maybe in the future I can find a safe time to tell Syntech what has been going on here in Willow Bluff, but I'm going to need you all to keep a lid on this for now.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay.
And with that, she stands and pushes back from the table and kind of pats down her suit, brushes off some of the crumbs from the waffles. Well, that meal was delightful. And she turns and walks out of the room.
You gonna eat that, LT?
No, help yourself. I look over to Max and go, "What the hell is this? What?"
Well, weird that
cult stuff. I thought you were joking. I thought you guys were joking.
she doesn't want Syntac in, but brought in a Syntac person. Okay.
Right. Well, okay, look. I work for Loop. Syntech is just a subsidiary.
So, I don't really like
I mean,
not telling people that there's a contaminated product.
yeah, that just seems a little bit...
There's other ways you could tell them it's contaminated without knowing
Yeah.
something's wrong. It could have just been recalled for, a rat head found somewhere.
Yeah. Someone reported an adverse reaction. And actually, as I'm doing this, I flipped open my rollout screen phone and I'm basically dictating. Need to send out a message to Syntech leadership that a couple of employees have reported adverse reactions of the poopy variety from taking and like increased heart rate and bad stuff from taking these things. So they are effectively banned on campus, both at the research facility and the operations center. And as compensation, premium coffee is free for the next 2 weeks. Sound good?
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
And then I'll obviously don't say of the poopy variety, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Send to Loop so it can come down through the channel.
So that will sort of cover that side of things then.
Well, I don't think we want anyone who's out of the research facility inadvertently becoming a Rom cultist, because there's potential complications given the nature of the research at the facility.
Oh, you're saying
I don't even get to know everything that goes on out there.
Yeah, curious as to who's already been affected.
Yep.
Barnabas, you definitely didn't have any of the stuff, did you? Or did you?
If any what stuff? I've been eating this food. It's very delightful. I can't imagine why you would give it up.
Energy.
Yeah.
Bless you.
So what's next plan for us then? Where
Argyros.
Argyros.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. If everyone else is ready, that's good to go.
As you step out of the sweet and sour, it's a normal day in downtown. There is a blaring as a fire truck goes racing down the street, come barreling out of the fire station, and just goes like alarm blaring, like doo doo, and just like going down. That's not a fire truck. I don't know what noise that was. Just goes like rushing down the street.
We should check that out. Nothing happens here. The only time the fire is called is when there's a murder, which is, every couple of weeks. Is one of those places. And the clock chimes 6. It's not 6 p.m. Or 6 a.m. It's just that the clock chimes randomly at unusual moments. Cool. Well, let's follow that fire truck.
I'd down the rest of my coffee and jump in the car.
Yeah, it's
Should we be following a fire truck if we're trying to keep a lower profile than what we've previously been doing?
I think that ship has sailed.
The fire truck.
Yeah.
Okay. Barnabas gets in the car with his briefcase.
yeah.
Full of
it's a quick jog.
Energy
My
extra
stuff, I'm not
extreme.
keeping it anywhere.
Yeah, like quick walk.
Yeah, because I think you walked over to the sweet and sour.
Yeah.
So quick brisk walk back to Max's apartment, and pile into the cars. Generally where the direction it was going. Max, you probably like given the direction it was going, there's only a couple ways that it could have been going, so it's pretty easy to, even a couple minutes have gone past, follow it. And as you get into you follow it out of the downtown, following the traces of its passage and the cars coming off of the side of the road where they had stopped and paused, and where it might have had to go around like a particularly bad part of road or something. So you're able to kind of see eventually it's going into the residential area of town, and it's an area that you all recognize because you were there just yesterday. It
Lloyd's
is pulling
house.
up. Yeah, it is you all pull up and you see that the fire truck is parked outside of Lloyd's house, which is right now very on fire.
Oh, an actual fire. Interesting.
Yeah, gonna be honest, I thought he exploded with glass.
He may have still done.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Is it just me, or just seems a bit of a coincidence that this person that we visited, less than 24 hours ago?
Not a
I
coincidence.
don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah, not a coincidence.
I have a question. Did any of you follow Lloyd's channel?
No.
Follow it? No, I would have looked at it prior to, but
Okay.
follow? No.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so as you're
Oh, this is really good. High production values now.
okay, as you're looking at the looking through, you can see that the firefighters are getting ready. There's somebody on staff who is looking at the building, figuring out okay, what's our plan for how we're gonna fight this fire? Where do we need to go in? What's which windows do we need to knock out? That kind of stuff. And you can see that it's hard to see through the windows, but you can actually see that there is movement on the inside of one of the windows on the ground floor in a part where the fire is actually blazing very strongly.
Do we want them to go in there?
Or do we want to save Lloyd?
Judging by the amount of fire, it seems very unlikely that he is alive.
Someone's moving right in there.
Moving up there. Yeah.
Quick action required.
Are we still in the car?
Yes.
Assume we're still in the car. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably maybe like 30 seconds have passed since you first pulled up.
Yeah, Harry, go out there and say someone's moving in that window.
I will. I'm like already out, like literally I pull up, sort of come out of the car, see what's going on, run. There's like someone in the window.
Okay. They turn around and you can see the head person of the fire team looks around and he sees you gesturing towards the window and he looks over, nudges the guy next to him and he gestures over and they immediately start getting whatever they were doing, they pick up the pace and they start dragging the hose even faster. And they start getting the hose ready to spray. And they start spraying, like they are focusing on that area in the downstairs area first, trying to, and like you can see that there's another person who's off to the side who is looking in and trying to trying to see what's going on. And if you all, as you all are getting closer, you can see, or Harry, you can see if the rest of you can also see if you're getting closer as well. Whatever the thing that's moving inside the room, it looks like reflections almost. Like there is something inside that is like just giving off different reflections of the fire around it.
I'm staying in the driver's seat of the car, ready to make a getaway. I gotta lay low, apparently.
Okay.
It's fine.
So.
How's is there any way to get in at all? Is the front entrance or back door or anything like clear at the moment, or is it all on fire?
It's all blazing fire on the ground floor entrances. You can still go into the garage, and the room above the garage where all of his equipment was it's not like on fire, but you can see that there's like smoke pouring out of the open windows.
Is there like a ladder or anything that I can get use of, potentially go up there?
Give me a luck roll, which is just a flat percentile roll. So try and get a 50 or under.
50 and over, right?
Yeah,
Under.
Can we say over?
But we
can't.
If you're within 10, we have a minor boon.
Oh no, I'm not. It's 82.
Okay. We could use a major boon to flop it to turn it into 28.
I would like that, because I'm going into fire.
Yes.
I will leave it to the
there
group.
is.
Use it.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, there is.
Special forces think they can do everything.
Not that special.
There is actually a ladder. You can see that one of the fire crew has already set up a ladder up to the up to that room above the garage. And you remember from the only way to get in there that you remember from yesterday otherwise would have been to go through the house up there. But they've already set up a ladder that goes up there.
Max and Barnabas still in the car with me.
Yeah.
Go tell him that's a horrible idea and he's not a firefighter.
Oh,
I will say my attention is at 8. So
Doesn't
this
have any equipment. No, I completely agree that you would be like, oh, I'm gonna go save lives.
Well, that's happening. I'm going up the ladder. I'm not stopping until otherwise.
Okay. As you go up the ladder, you probably hear like Nora and Barnabas shouting at you from the car. You're going up anyway. You're powering up. It's tough to breathe and see through the smoke, but like in a couple lucky gusts of the smoke, you can actually that clear the air for a second. You can see that Lloyd is kind of crouched and like collapsed against the far wall of the room. You can see that he's holding his arm like this and like gripping it tightly. You can't. He looks pale and sweaty and bloody, but you can't really see what happened to him. You can see that surrounding him in the room, he clearly spent the whole night on some kind of even more advanced and elaborate laser setup than the one that he had yesterday that he showed you. Like, he clearly did not get a wink of sleep. And he looks up and he's kind of shaking and quavering as he looks across the window or look across the room at you. Like, are you the guy from yesterday?
Yes, Lloyd, can you try to grab my hand and I reach out? Come on, getting you out of here.
He starts scooching over across the room. As he gets closer, you can see that his right arm is missing below there's kind of around here-ish. There is it's missing basically, and he's taken his belt and made like a makeshift kind of tourniquet. Don't go into the house. Whatever you do, do not go into the house.
Go into the house.
He is kind of hauling himself up onto the windowsill.
I'm getting out of the car now just to be at the base of the ladder in case he falls or something. Because if he's trying to pull a dude out
without an arm,
yeah, I'm gonna
yeah. Nora. So as you are rushing to the base of the ladder and are like holding it still as Harry and Lloyd are coming back down, you hear a screech of tires coming from the street behind you.
What's all going off?
A vehicle approaching very quickly.
So I have stepped out and have activated my little small tuning fork device to see if I can detect any quantum variance in the vicinity.
There's a very strong signal coming from the house. There's a weaker signal coming from Lloyd. And there is a weaker and strengthening signal coming from behind you.
What does the vehicle look like? Is it like limo tinted windows type black car, or is it like just some normal looking car?
Looks like a regular kind of consumer grade SUV. One window of it has been broken. The driver's side window is broken in.
Yeah, no. Max takes cover.
Okay.
Putting our vehicle between him and that vehicle.
Yeah.
And then
Barnabas,
says,
what are you doing?
Nope. No.
Barnabas
Dr.
is just chilling
Crodmeyer.
next to the card.
Okay.
I'm very obviously taking cover behind our vehicle, and then I'm urgently motioning Dr. Crodmeyer to get down and over here.
Mm-hmm. The car, the SUV pulls up to a stop, skids to a stop in front of the house, and 5 people pile out of the car very quickly. 4 people who are wearing some kind of like body armor, and one man who is also wearing body armor, but he is like hulking, huge, like physically imposing, and he's wearing very dark sunglasses, and he's motioning to everyone around him. Each of the people who piled out of the car has some kind of, it almost looks like a shop vac, but like strapped to their backs. And it has a tube that kind of goes around the bottom to their back. And he motions to everybody.
Yay! Who are we gonna call?
Who called them?
Yeah. Well, who did call them? You see that the large man in the middle, he reaches down to his waist, and you see he plucks something off of his waist, and he brings it up to his chest, and then he rears back and he throws it into the house. Everybody give me
Through like an open door?
He throws it through the window.
Got it.
Which window? The window Harry and them are in, or a different window?
The different way. So like it Harry and them were going up to a window that was above the garage, and there was like kind of the main area of like the 2-story house, and you could see into the bottom, like the area where the movement was, that was in kind of the like living room area on the ground floor. He threw it through that window. And a second goes by, and
Were you going to have us make some sort of check?
I was thinking about it. Everybody give me... I'm trying to see what would be most appropriate. You hear an incredibly loud explosion, and you can see that the windows and all of the like the windows, the door, even the walls bulge out a little bit of the bottom floor of this house. And very quickly, at like almost immediately after that happens, the 4 men holding with the packs on their back start rushing in towards the fire. They're not even waiting for the firefighters to put out the fire. They're just rushing straight in. What I do want to have happen is, it's probably just because everything is happening very quickly now. We're gonna just run through a kind of initiative order, so that the way that this works is that you don't roll, you just kind of take whoever's like initiative values, or is it you take their dexterity values for the initiative, and you just go from highest to lowest. So, 1 second. That is.
Right, still to the ladder, by the way, with Lloyd.
Yeah, so you would have been still on the ladder, like
Cool.
halfway down when this all happened.
Awesome.
Human shield.
Yeah, I probably would have yelled up like they just threw a grenade into the house. Get down, get down, get down, get down.
Warwick 10, 13. Where is 0?
I'm 11.
0 is 11. And yeah, the strange crew of people, they went first, but they are there. Okay. Yeah, so you, SJ and Backwin, you are the first to react.
Well, I would have yelled up to LT like, they just threw some kind of weird grenade into the house. You guys need to get down now. And I probably would have yelled back at, or motioned back to like Max and Crodmeyer, like get pictures, like license plate, something on their vehicle.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm just like holding the ladder, trying to help Harry down with the other guy, and I would have a tourniquet in my IFAC, so once we get him, I can replace the belt with something a little bit more sustainable.
You're gonna give Lloyd a hand.
Oh God.
Sorry.
Barnabas, you're up.
Barnabas is gone. He's like, that's it. I've had enough.
Barnabas would very simply just, as soon as the vehicle pulled up, just crouch down behind our vehicle where he was standing. He never moved forward.
Okay. Are you
He sees
following...
nothing. No, he sees nothing that Agent Nora or anyone else is doing. I'm behind the tire. I can't see anything.
Okay. Cool.
I'm a scientist.
Max.
I'm not doing this stuff.
You're not taking pictures of the car the way that you were instructed to.
Because I would have yelled out Barnabas Max.
Nope. I don't have anything to take pictures with. What does she think I am?
You have a phone. Good.
No,
great.
I don't have a phone.
Oh wow.
I specifically did not give him a phone for special reasons.
All right.
I love it.
I think I will. Yeah, I'm gonna hop in since I'm right by our vehicle. I assumed they're in front of our vehicle if they came around. I'm gonna hop in our vehicle, kind of scooch over, and then open the door enough that I can get an angle with my phone. Quick zoom in, snapshot. Assuming that there is a license plate.
Yeah, there is a license plate. Is that all you're taking pictures of, or?
Yeah, and I'm taking pictures of the people, the whole scene. Just
Okay.
a couple of like zoomed in enhanced stills, and then just pan over live video.
Okay.
Just trying to get some faces, and if at all possible, I'll check and see if. No, I don't think we would have any reason to have access to people's license plates unless it is registered to a Syntech or Loop employee. So I can do a quick check to see if it's in the parking database, the security database at Syntech.
That would probably be too much to do right now, but you could definitely do that later.
Yeah.
So as you all are watching,
And then I will say to Max, get in the car.
Firefighters meeting us to grab the clearly injured dude coming down the ladder.
Yeah, the firefighters have noticed everything that is going on. They have no idea what is going on. They are all kind of like muttering to each other and panicking, and but they have noticed that you're bringing somebody injured down the ladder, and they are coming over and basically like rushing you all out of the way. Like this is what their job is, and so they are like, grabbing, putting up another ladder, coming up, helping you get him down, and getting everything safe. The four unidentified people have rushed into. They like kicked down the front door and rushed in, and you can't really hear anything over the sound of the fire, but you can kind of see that they are rushing around inside the house doing something, and the larger man with the sunglasses is standing there watching them as they rush in, and then he turns back around and walks towards walks back towards the car, the driver's side of the car. And
have they noticed us or anything, or were they aware of it?
He has noticed you. He looks over at you very briefly, and as he is walking over towards the driver's side, he just looks over at you all, and whoever is closest.
And Max and Barnabas are kind of trying to hide as best as they can and be discreet. It's me and Harry that are, and I'm at the bottom of the ladder. Harry's
I'm halfway up the ladder with an injured guy. So
yeah, he looks around and he clearly like sees that like Max and Barnabas are there. But he looks over at you, Nora, because you're probably the one who is like least busy right now. And he shouts over, "I would stay out of all of this if I was you. Nosiness can get you killed." And then he gets behind the wheel of the car.
If only I was good. If only I had a symbiotic weapon and was good at shooting, I would kill them.
Jesus.
Harry, you're up.
I get down that ladder as quick as I can. Obviously, Assistant Lloyd.
Yeah, I would say that with the firefighters' help, it's not even really like action worthy. Like that's a free action for you, is getting back down the ladder.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
I assume the firefighters are just taking him from us, and which is fine, honestly. They'll be able to treat them better.
Apart from with Lloyd, apart from his arm half missing, how did he look? Apart from that, like, did he seem the same that when we saw him last, or?
Yeah, he seems roughly the same. He's wearing the same clothes that he was wearing yesterday. Aside from like clutching his missing his arm that is injured, he looks like, and kind of shaking, and obviously he's in shock. He looks pretty much the same.
He probably smells a bit smoky.
Yeah, he smells very smoky. He's very maple smoked bacon right now.
I get down. I was like, who the hell are these guys?
But we should get ready for a fight just in case.
Right. Okay. Cool.
We can head back to the van.
Yeah, I rushed to the van. to get my
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. So you're grabbing your stuff?
Well, I would have my pistol on me, pistol weapon already. But I would go to the van, or try to get to the van and try to grab my assault rifle if possible. Just to sort of be prepared.
We can take Lloyd to the hospital.
God,
Is there not an ambulance here?
No.
It's just a fire truck. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good shout. Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, I think we should probably take Lloyd with us as well. Actually,
I mean, Max was yelling that. It's like, we can take Lloyd to the hospital. These guys have their hands full.
Yeah, and if the firefighters are on, I'm like, hey, I know TC3. I can keep him stable enough, and we can get him to the hospital. Yeah, you guys are dealing with the rest of this fire.
yeah, we'll take him. You guys do the fire. We got this. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We should Lloyd with us, or attempt to.
Just as a point of clarification, because the possibility was raised, we are going through in kind of like a combat turn order right now. Generally, the way this system works is that you get one action per turn, and that is anything that requires like a significant investment of like your time and energy and stuff. So you get like, if you want to run more than like 10 or 15 feet, then that is your action. If you want to attack or take aim or something like that, that is your action. It's a little bit freeform. There's some examples in the book if you want some inspiration, but also like it is, there's flexibility.
Well, in that case, I'm happy. Like my action would be like getting down to the bottom from the ladder with Lloyd. I think that would be my action.
Okay.
My intended purpose would be to get to the van, but yeah, I'm happy to sort of be there.
You can get him down and hand him off to the firefighters and get over to the van. We can say that that's your action.
Oh yeah, but we're not handing Lloyd off to the firefighters. That's the point.
Oh no, we're keeping.
There's not an ambulance here.
Yeah, we're keeping
Not
Lloyd.
an ambulance here.
Okay.
Yeah. There's an ambulance. It would make sense for us to take him.
Yeah, I was thinking there was like an EMS on standby or something, but
yeah, you don't see any yet. The firefighters were the first to get here, and I don't know. Does Willow Bluff have its own hospital system?
There's a hospital. It's more of a clinic.
Got it.
But they have like a single emergency trauma bed if someone needs something. But generally, and there's medevac and stuff like that to get people down to the cities.
Okay, so if they needed like rapid medical transport or something, they might have to rely on like the fire company, or they might have to get an ambulance from the next town or something like that. I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the fire department here is largely volunteer.
Got it. Yeah. So in that case, we are back over to SJ. Oh, I wanted to bring up that point, not to say that you can't do as much as you were planning to do. I just wanted to bring that up as
everyone was aware.
Yeah. Nora, we are back around to you.
Are they going to let us take him?
Yeah, they all like once they see that you are like you have like a first aid kit with you and you obviously know what you're doing. They're giving you some odd looks like, why are you here? But they're not questioning like someone who is clearly trained and like helping them out with the rescue operation.
I'll probably help get him into the van and be like, Harry, help me get this tourniquet. Like, hold it down, because we would both be trained in tactical combat casualty care.
And Dr. Crodmeyer is sort of a physician. He knows biology.
So we know enough to keep him stable to get him to the next highest level of care, at least. So I would probably replace the belt with a more suitable tourniquet while keeping the belt in place, and then remove that belt, write the timestamp on there of when it was applied.
Was the stump lasered off?
No, it looks like it is a very jagged cut. Like a lot of knives were used at once.
Yeah, or pieces of glass. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the tourniquet replaced so that he's definitely not bleeding, and then
it was just like a crappy $20 like Target fake leather belt that he was holding closed himself. So good idea. Barnabas. Are you
Yes.
still hiding behind the car?
Well, once the other people got close to the car, probably not. I'd stand up slowly, look over, and see Lloyd. Oh, terribleness. Do you require my assistant, Agent?
Yeah, if you see anything else. I mean, we'd need to check for other wounds besides his arm.
Guess I'll check him over.
Okay. Give me
Medicine.
so it depends on how you want to do this. Like, what would you be looking for, like, when checking him over?
Well, he's missing an arm, and I could probably tell by eyesight that they're jagged cuts, nothing smooth. Probably other possible injuries according to glass or lacerations.
Yeah. You can see that he's got a lot of cuts around himself. And you're really good at biology, so I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Like, you would just be able to notice it immediately. Looking at the stump itself, you notice that there are little pieces of something glimmering inside of the exposed flesh of his arm that shouldn't be there.
Interesting. Okay. Do I don't know if I can take a closer look to tell if the shimmering bits are going.
Yeah, you have enough
to-
time to. The rest
Okay.
of that was like kind of like visible at a glance. You can take a heavier investigation for this.
Yeah, take a heavier investigation to see if the glass is working its way out, in as the human body. Try to push it out.
Yeah. In that case, give me if you want biology, I'll leave it up to you. Yeah, but biology would probably be most appropriate role here.
Sure. 62.
Okay. Yeah. You can see that it looks like they are the pieces that you can see are kind of falling out. There are a couple that are just kind of being held on by, like, water tension from the blood, basically. But it doesn't, there, you don't see any movement or any like growth or anything. You just kind of see that they're sitting there in place. And like, as he's moving his arm around, as Agent Nora and Lieutenant Harry are like kind of fixing up his bandages, you can kind of see that like there's a brief moment where they take off the tourniquet. And you notice that in kind of the like pent up like fluid and like plasma that comes out in that moment where he's not bound up, you can see that there's almost a little like grit like substance in the blood that is coming out. Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay. And then I guess I would just, after observing that, I would just kind of ask Agent Ryan for her first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can have access to it. It doesn't have that much stuff in it. It's mostly like
Doesn't
gauze,
need to.
some quick clot. Quick clot would probably be good, but there's not too much that's in an IFAC.
I would say that with that good of a biology roll, you are probably like you pitch in and like you don't know first aid exactly, but you do know like, well, actually you are like somewhat trained in first aid. So like your first aid and biology knowledge are enough that like if like he wouldn't be as stable as he was if you hadn't been there to kind of help. Like he has gone from like as Nora and Harry and Barnabas are kind of like crouching over him and fixing him up and examining him, you notice like you suggest like, hey, maybe we should put like this here, or like maybe we should address this, and you notice that there's a couple cuts on different parts of his body. Barnabas, you're confident that like he's starting to look like better. There's a little bit more color in his face, and he's breathing a little bit better. And you're confident that you helped stabilize him here.
Oh, good.
Max.
I would like to scan him just to determine if he's near critical mass or not, like how strong the reading is.
Mm-hmm. You can see that there is it's strongest near the stump, but the other, like, throughout his the rest of him is just kind of like a background level of presence.
Cool. And then Max will say, "So, let me guess. Something happened to your hand. It got all glassy shardy, and then what? Fell off? Turned into something? Set fire to your house?"
He looks up at you like, I hit it. I saw that, and he glares at you. You took my hard drive, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was going through, and I cut myself on the case because I just mad, and then I saw something in the cuts, and he takes a breath. It takes a second to, like, he starts hyperventilating a little. And as he's going through that story, you hear a crashing behind you, as the four people who went into the fire come rushing out of the fire, and rushing out of the building, and they make a beeline for the SUV, and they are rushing towards it. They all kind of load into the back. The tall man with the glasses, he takes one final glance over at all of you, and he steps behind the wheel, and you hear the engine start up. Harry.
So he, to complete the story, he punched the wall or whatever out of frustration, and then something bad happened.
Yeah, that's all that you got out of him before your attention was diverted.
Got it.
So what condition is Lloyd in at the moment? Is he?
He's fine.
Like, because I've got some like field dressings. Would that?
You're getting like relatively stabilized.
Yeah.
Like, between me and Crodmeyer, probably okay. Probably used you to drive or something.
Yeah. You know, he wouldn't want to. You wouldn't ask him to do anything strenuous, but like
play the piano.
Yeah. He's definitely. You definitely don't have to worry about him like dying while you're getting him to a hospital.
Okay, cool.
Or chasing the fleeing SUV.
2 secs. Sorry, my my home device decided to activate for some reason.
Bugs.
It's the handler listening in. I guess the main priority is just, what do we do with that lot? Like,
Follow them.
do we want to deal with that, or
Follow them. You guys can handle them,
do
right?
we want to? Like, what do we want to focus on first?
I'm not sure what kind of heat they're packing, but we also got a dying dude in the back.
Yeah, we got odd number of arms here. Yeah, I think I'll just jump in front of into the car. Well, get into the driver's seat, ready to get Lloyd to a hospital or somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, you help bundle him in. You start up the car, and I assume, like, basically, let's leave it at for you that, like, wherever the team decides that you need to go next, you are like poised and ready to get you started on that. You just need the word. So you need someone to say go, and you can get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Nora, we're back around to you.
I'll probably look for a soda or something so that he can have a sip of a drink. It usually helps with the shock, take the edge off.
Okay.
Maybe it'll make it easier for him to tell us what happened.
Okay. Are you in the car?
Also, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm in the back of the van with him. So.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got Lloyd in the backseat of the car. You're looking around. Yeah, no soda. Nothing to drink in this car.
What? I thought we went on a snack run. This is BS.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I
yeah.
bought
Okay.
everybody snacks.
I was going to blame. I was going to blame Barnabas saying you had all the snacks.
Like, I know I ate some, but
There's an
he-
entire case of 5-hour energy, though.
Oh, God.
You load them up.
At first, you see that. At first, you just see a lot of wrappers, and then after like rummaging around a little bit, you spot like a bottle of Mountain Dew kind of rolling around under one of the seats.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll grab that. It'll force him to kind of control his breathing a bit, the carbonation, whatever. It helps take a little bit of the edge off. Might calm him down a little bit.
Okay. Barnabas.
Well, I'm in the car now.
Okay. So you're getting into the car.
Well, we've all been in the car because we've been looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Barnabas, you were outside the car, like crouching
I
down.
was, and then I got in and
Oh, okay.
ascertained.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so driver's seat, passenger seat, back seat with Lloyd.
Oh, okay. My mental picture was not up to date with what you all. Okay. So you're all in the car.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone unless I was in the car, so I would have waited if needed until I was.
Okay. So in that case, we can back up a little bit. Nora and Barnabas, or actually, and Harry, do you want to get started on going to the hospital like immediately?
I think that's the best course of action because, like Nora said, we don't know what these other guys are packing. It could get very, very bad, and as stated before, we need to not make ourselves known any more than we need to. So I think Lloyd is praying. But also Lloyd may have information which we may lose depending on how Lloyd deteriorates, basically.
Yeah, I would totally go in a firefight, but Max, he was making fun of me for flashing my badge. So.
I mean, it doesn't matter. If you kill everyone who sees your badge, it's fine.
Yeah, but that's a lot of attention.
That's a lot of attention, and also we don't know.
Firefighters would have seen us on this. Yeah.
It's fine.
In that case, then we will exit the order. So Harry, you pull out the rental car from the driveway. You can see that kind of behind you, the other SUV is pulling out and speeding away the other direction.
I will say, I will make a note of the number plate.
Right, let's go.
And I go, oh, okay.
Good back.
But you start to try to write it down. It's like, no. I've got I have license plate and all of their faces. So
the firefighters are looking incredibly bewildering. The head of the fire team is shouting after you, like what?
go into the hospital.
What is this?
Just good Samaritans. Bye.
Just absolutely looking bewildered as you all are driving away.
Hey, there's a fire over there. You should do something about that. See ya.
Yeah, you can see him turning back and yelling at the other firefighters and gesturing towards the house as you all are driving away.
Well, I guess we're going to the clinic. Or
I shout out behind as we're driving. I was like, Lloyd, how are you holding up?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
finish your story, Lloyd. You punched the floor or you punched the wall or hit your hand on the desk or something in frustration, and then
I saw there was something in I cut myself on a piece of the computer, and I was looking at it and I saw that there was a piece of glass inside of the cut, and so I took it out, and I went and I got a Band-Aid, and I spent. I mean, have you seen? Did any of you look at my channel? I managed to put another really quick video update out, and I was working on a follow up, and then I took a nap, and I had this dream that someone was looking at me. Someone was looking at me, but it was like they were also looking through me and past me and didn't even notice me, and I felt a burning in my hand, and then I woke up and I looked, and my hand was glass, but it could move, and I don't even really remember what happened next, but the next thing I know, I had the oven on, and I had half my arm in the oven, and I was just trying to just pull myself away from the glass, and I knocked the oven on at some point, and then I fell back, and the next thing I knew, that the house was on fire, and I heard something moving around inside of the oven, and I just ran. And then I don't remember what happened next, but then you came. What?
So
what
hand
was
turned to
that?
glass, took you over, popped loose, was in the oven, and crawling around on its own, is what you're saying.
I mean, I'm saying it, and that sounds insane. Like, that's...
Yeah, it does
like,
sound
Are you
insane.
sure you're not on something and cut off your own arm trying to get glass pieces out?
I mean, I don't do any drugs, if that's what you're saying.
Except for the Energy Hex Stream.
I mean, they sell that at the gas station.
Not anymore, they
I do
don't.
realize going so long without sleep is just as bad as being drunk.
Yeah, worse. You'll actually get psychosis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or in your case,
awake
there's an
for
arm,
a
so...
significant amount of time by taking all these energy supplements.
Are you trying to convince him that this was a hallucination?
A psychotic episode.
Give me a charisma check, or charisma skill check.
I see this all the time. Oh, me? Damn.
Yeah.
I don't think
Is there an assist mechanism?
I'm sure if
I
you see it all the time.
Since we're both talking.
Let me Google. By Google, I mean search the PDF. I'm pretty sure there is. I just don't remember off the top of my head.
I got a 48, so I just missed it because I have 45.
Doobadoo.
Can I attempt to persuade to give you 2 points? It's more than 2.
Yeah, I'm literally 3 points over.
Yeah.
Don't we have a minor boon we can use?
We used it. Oh no, we got it back. But let's see if there's an assist.
Look, Misha gave us one anyway.
Thanks, Mish.
Oh, yeah,
But-
that would give you a plus 10 to the threshold.
Cool.
So
That's
if you were too short, that would make it.
Pretty short, but yeah.
Thank you, Misha.
I see it all the time in my line of work. I mean,
I mean, it felt so real, and he looks at his arm. Like, I mean, a hallucination doesn't do this. Like, what?
no, but it can cause you to do it. Look at the jagged cuts. That was very likely self-inflicted in a sloppy way with a knife.
And also, didn't you say that you fell asleep and you dreamt about your arm being glass?
Probably thought you were asleep.
That doesn't sound normal.
Who were those men? I heard an explosion. What?
We were hoping
happened?
that you would know. Any ideas? Look, we don't know. Well, I don't think we know, do we? Look around.
Volunteer firefighters, we assume. Did you know any of them?
No, I never really. I mean, like, I've met some of the firemen around town. But I don't really know any of them. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I left the gas on. And
Possibly.
he just kind of like, he doesn't like stop paying attention, but he just clearly is like off in his own kind of like mind right now.
We probably won't know more about the cause until the firefighters do an investigation.
So while this is going on, you all, are you headed to the clinic?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
If we're not going to chase after the other guys.
What do you think is safe with, like, one they're going to ask questions about why our friend's lost his arm? Or do you think we'd be all
We
right?
will tell him that he had a drug-induced psychosis.
Doesn't
Sleep
actually seem that far from
sleep
the truth.
deprived
Um,
psychosis, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm not going to risk this guy's life over.
Well, actually, while we're driving, because obviously I realise Max has obviously got details on the car and the people. Like, any ideas who the guys were? Anything on your database?
Here, oh yeah, is the car registered? Does it have a parking permit for Syntech?
Yeah, it does not have a parking permit for Syntech.
Cool.
You do find it in some of the Syntech records just as a car around town. It sounds like Jeff from Health and Safety logged it a couple times for improperly parking at a couple places around town. But aside from that, it looks like it was just some random nobody's car. And
their front window was broken, so it might have been stolen. Okay.
Can we pull up this guy's last YouTube video?
Yep. I'm watching it as we speak.
Yeah,
and I just airdropped the video and stills to your phone, Agent Ryan, and Agent Primrose, Lieutenant Primrose.
As you all start watching the video, it's about 3 minutes long. It's not very long. You can see at first it's very clearly like much lower production values than like the camera quality. The image quality is much worse, and it's not like edited together with effects and stuff because he doesn't have access to his computer with all of his like editing software. So it's kind of like
was it all on his hard drive?
Huh?
Yeah,
he had a one hard drive set up. He didn't have a separate like OS and data partition. Not that computer savvy. He whatchamacallit. Yeah, first it kind of shows in and you can kind of see that he's giving a kind of like a vlogger style like update where he is saying like, I haven't posted in a couple of days. I've been working on something really big. I've had a little bit of a setback, but don't worry, fans. I am going to be able to show you something really good. And you can see he's holding it out of frame, but every now and then you can see his arm kind of pop up, like as he's gesturing, and you can see that it's bandaged at a spot on the back of his hand. And then he turns around, and you can see behind him is the laser setup. Harry, you recognize it as the setup that you saw earlier today, or like just recently when you went into the room. He has a couple sample holders that are holding something, and he's got a couple of them lined up in a row, and you can actually see that on the far wall there is like where before there had been like kind of a light beam tracing out a signal or tracing out something. Now you can actually see that it is actually like it's moving so fast that you can actually see the sigil, like see what it's drawing, and what before had seemed like random movements across the wall is a very like a symbol that you have never. Well, actually, you seems a little bit familiar, but you might have to think about like, have you seen it before? As you all are looking at this symbol, however, something like about looking at it looks almost like it seems wrong almost as you're looking at this, like the path of the light on the wall, the arcs and the angles that it's making. It doesn't really seem possible that it should be able to like make the patterns that it's making just with a straight beam of light, no matter how fast that it was going. Everybody give me a sanity check.
All right.
How was I viewing this?
4.
I've got a roll-up screen on my phone.
All right, cool. I made
Thanks
mine.
for helping with that.
We have to get lower, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
It was
below.
64
Yeah.
28.
Yeah, like 21.
out of 70.
28 is my magic number. I've rolled it like twice or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Rigged.
Loaded.
Yeah, I got a 72, which is not good.
Oh,
You're fine. I mean, you're slightly more insane, but
My hair's gonna
Yeah.
Not
fall out.
noticeable to us.
One second.
Dr. Crodmeyer, Delos Pica, you're eating your own hair.
Yeah. So it's only this is just an incredible, like, it's for those of you who made the save, like at first it seems like it's making like, you know, impossible angles and images, but like you just kind of, you realize that it's kind of just an optical illusion, and if you just kind of like mentally think about it in a different way, it almost seems like normal, like, oh, like I was just interpreting it wrong, there's a bump in the wall there and that's why it looked that way. So I think Barnabas, were you the only one who failed? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Looks like
Yeah,
lights
so
to me.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
It just looks like lights to me.
Yeah. So Barnabas, it, like, you don't really have that moment of epiphany where you realize like, oh, it's probably just an optical illusion. Like it almost seems like you're looking into, you know, those like those things that they have at arcades where it's like a fluorescent tube and then like a half mirror and a mirror, and it almost looks like there's like a tunnel into infinity. Okay. It's it almost looks like what you're looking, the light is tracing out a hole, like not just a symbol, but it looks like it is somehow creating and defining a hole in the wall. And just like thinking about that and knowing, like, you know, you're not like specialized in like physics or anything like that, but to you, just like that kind of, you have that thought, and it is like that's kind of all you can think about for a second. And that is a 1 point of sanity loss.
Okay.
Ooh.
And that's where the video ends, is that he is showing you that, and his head kind of pops back down, and he like says like, isn't that cool? Well, I'll see y'all later. Got more videos to make, and the video ends.
Interesting. Obviously, I'm driving, so I don't really see much, but I sort of get the gist of it, basically.
Mm.
I hit thumbs down and then closed my phone.
It's like.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, I do. As I said, I hit dislike and then close the phone.
Yeah.
Gotta leverage that algo.
Lloyd is like, he kind of looked up once he realized you were looking at his video, but he just kind of like sank his head back and like not like whatchamacallit, not like sleeping, but he's just trying to like shut everything out for a moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to stay awake, bud.
As you pull up to the clinic, you can see that there's some staff that are waiting outside that you know, clearly are waiting for you. Seems like some of the firefighters called ahead. They figured, you know, they heard you talking as you were getting Lloyd into the car, and called ahead saying to expect you all. They kind of rush over as you pull up, you know, get him out of the back seat quickly onto a stretcher that they had waiting, and like don't even really stop to talk to you all. They just, you know, rush him off. You know, there's only like 2 or 3 people there, and they're going to need everyone.
Cool.
I need a shower.
I don't think Lloyd really knows anything more than he's already told us. That's the feeling I get anyway. Still trying to figure out what those guys were doing, if they were doing anything, or because they didn't seem bothered with us in a way. Like, they didn't stop us. Said
No, they threw a very obvious threat out, though.
Perhaps your various agencies might know something about these people, and perhaps the handler does. But they aren't Syntech employees, or at least this vehicle is not registered to a Syntech employee. It does show up as in town records, but almost certainly, given that the driver's side window was broken, it's stolen.
I mean, if you can get me names, I can look it up in the FBI database, but
Yeah,
no,
facial recognition. Unless they were all wearing name tags, I assume they weren't.
and I really won't get much unless they have a record.
Yeah.
SJ.
Yep.
Or Nora, as you are sitting there after. Actually, no, never mind. Okay, so Lloyd has been bundled off by the medics.
And we've
You all
reported that
have,
he was the victim of sleep deprivation induced psychosis, potentially aggravated by the use of OTC stimulants, and also smoke inhalation. But he should be put on a hold because the injury is likely self-inflicted and treated with powerful antipsychotics.
He writes all that down, and he nods at you, and he's
You concur, Dr. Crodmeyer? Yes, Dr. Helkvist. So we're like, no, we were doctors.
where are yeah, I mean, so I mean, I don't want to ask too many questions. I mean, like, you know, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here. You know, you got him to us right in time. Like, I think he's, arm notwithstanding, he's probably going to be fine. Y'all did a great job with the first aid. I mean, you know, who do I put down here for, like, who brought him in? I just need to have something for my records.
No, you don't.
Nothing?
You don't.
Just put down Good Samaritan.
Yep.
First name Good, last name Samaritan.
We're not his emergency contact or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they don't pay me enough to care. So he just writes down Good Samaritan and walks back into the clinic.
Smart man. Cool. All right. Well, that was...
What do we do now?
Well,
I
that
need
was...
a shower. We are covered in blood. I'm not walking around like this. We can regroup.
Yes,
I need to get all this uncontaminated.
Yes, back to the apartment to clean up, and then off to Argyros.
Yes, that's where we were originally going, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. Strolling up to
Damn, Lloyd.
Argyros all bloody is probably not the best lay low place.
I mean, we could
It will help with your
leverage it.
intimidation.
We could wander up to their facility and be like, oh, we just had a terrible wreck. You need to let us inside.
Yeah.
And then once they're inside, we overpower them.
Yes, you
I
will.
get
Hold them-
some kind
hold
of
them hostage
weird
and force them to tell us their
supernatural
secrets.
disease From contact to this weird glassy blood, I'm gonna be upset.
I recommend you don't ingest it. Run the scanner over. I assume there's some sort of low-level hum from all the bits and pieces of Lloyd juice that are everywhere.
Yeah, it's negligible, but yeah, there's a little bit on everything.
Just surreptitiously scan Dr. Crodmeyer just to make sure.
Will Lloyd be alright in there? Like, do you think he'll be safe?
I think if they dose him up enough, he'll be fine. Or
Well, I think he means from outside threats, like the group we just passed. But we really can't afford to do both.
and I don't mean to be
Keep
callous.
him safe and just watch
But if
them
when we
spill
get
out.
back to town, he has mysteriously been assassinated, that gives us some useful intel about our potential foes, don't you think?
That we should definitely have
Old
them
but true.
killed.
I mean, I don't wish him ill. He's kind of the worst, though.
Alright, so are we going back to Max's?
Clap.
I mean, we can do the car wreck idea. It's up to you guys. You guys seem to know more about laying low than I do.
No, it's fine. That it's best if you get that substance off you.
We can probably cut ahead then quick montage of you arrive back at Max's place, everybody who needs to takes a shower. Max
Pool party.
When we're out, we're probably doing our respective, like, I'll check FBI database when I'm not in the shower. Help maybe I don't know if you're gonna text the handler about it or anything, and then Max.
Yeah, I'll just inform the handler what's going on. Like, oh, everything's under control. This is just what happened. Just if there's any information that they may have, then let us know.
Yeah.
Just saying that we're continuing with what.
I'd be mad that we didn't follow the vehicle.
She texts back, stay away from them as much as you possibly can.
Good.
That means she knows who they are.
Let me see. Max, I assume you were probably cleaning off the car. Or would you have convinced one of the others to do that?
Oh. Why would I oh, right, because blood in the back seat. Well, I didn't touch the guy.
Car?
Yeah.
Was it my who's was it my car?
Yeah.
It was your car.
Yeah, I mean it's the rental.
I guess I would be cleaning it up then.
Okay.
We're not getting that deposit back.
Yeah, no.
Whoever it was,
There is a car wash. It's actually very near. It's down at this kind of south end of town. So like right inland from the lake is a detail, like a kind of a local detail shop. So you might have to give him a little bit of cash not to talk about the fact that he's cleaning blood out of your back seat.
You can just tell him like we stopped by a fire, saved somebody, and
Yeah. I'm telling the truth. Ish.
Yeah, flavor it, obviously.
okay, we can say that that's what you all do. We can cut ahead for a moment. Your car is now freshly washed. You all are freshly washed, reclothed, pulling up in front of calling it headquarters would not really be accurate. It's more of a like local branch office of one of the downtown buildings that has been converted into some office space, and it's clearly used to be like residential area or something, but now it has been converted into some offices. But they have most of the building bought up for and rented for their own office space. The grounds look pretty clean as you pull up. How are you all approaching this?
Hard.
Flash my badge.
I mean, I think the ship has sailed on being unobtrusive.
Do we want to frighten them?
Not intentionally. I just think we just need to be assertive.
I might have a
thinking?
way though. I have a hazmat suit.
What do you think might scare them?
Yes.
Yeah, that could be a way that you could go in hazmat suit, HEV suit in hand, and
well, I don't
go
have
in.
that. That is still at Black Mesa.
Oh, that's true.
You can't be taking that out. That is for a special person that we have yet to receive.
Okay. But hazmat suits is that how you want to head forward with this? Is get out the hazmat suit and go in heavy-handed?
Yes. Well, we're the hazmat suit.
Anyone else?
Case, and
I mean, we could go the health inspector route.
So we've got hazmat, health inspector.
I mean, their stuff's contaminated, so.
well, that's why I'm
That's
doing
true.
hazmat. Plus, I don't want to ruin another lab coat.
How many you
Okay.
got?
I only brought a spare set.
Okay. So it sounds like, Barnabas, you're going to be taking the lead on this.
Sure. Why not? I am charming.
So as you walk up, the rest of you in tow, the front doors, the front glass doors, you can see through them. There is a reception area with Argyros logo, which is a kind of a stylized lake with a tree over to the right and kind of a moon visible above it. It's more of kind of like a very stylistic kind of minimalist landscape picture as their logo on like the wall of a little like half wall deal behind the front desk. And you can see through the doors, there's somebody sitting at the front desk.
We're going to ruin this receptionist's day.
It's probably deserved. Karma
Okay.
and all that. I will walk up to the front desk.
Okay. Cool. So what does it look like when you're wearing your hazmat suit?
It's a full, heavy hazmat suit. It's got the window for face. And I'm in a
Okay.
big suit, big white suit.
Okay. Does it have
Want us
like
to walk with
a
you?
Black Mesa logo on it?
No, this one is not branded.
Okay.
You want us walking with you, or did you want to just go in yourself?
I think someone should go with them.
Well, we should probably all go, don't you think?
Well, I would definitely have to have Max with me, as he has these scanning tools.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's all go.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you only have the one hazmat suit?
I do.
Okay.
I wasn't sure of
one. Not
No,
none of us.
the person that had hazmat
I
suit
don't
is
have
there
their
to go into.
measurements. I can't be.
Yeah, the person that hazmat
Okay.
suit is intended to go into any areas where there might be manufacturing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't think
'Cause we
that their
could- if you want-
offices are necessarily
Yeah.
contaminated, but their manufacturing area might be.
Yes.
So that would be like just having a hazmat suit. That would be an incidental expense, or incidental or standard, depending on how you want to do it. And basically, if you want to just like say, give me like an intelligence check for whether you might have brought along a couple spares, or you could just run it as you just have the one and everybody else is just not going to be going into hazardous areas. However you want to do that, that is up to you. But I just wanted to let you know that is an option to try and see if you were smart enough to have brought along some spares.
Well, I mean, I brought spare lab coats, so
64. Max was smart enough to be worried about potential hazardous materials. So
I would have brought maybe a one spare with
Yeah.
me.
so
When
Okay.
Between us.
for intelligence, I got a 4.
Okay.
yeah,
So you
were
brought
very prepared.
one spare for yourself.
Yeah, that's
and
one
it's-
fit my sight.
Yeah, probably wouldn't fit Nora and Harry. Okay. So the receptionist looks up at Barnabas and Max, who are, full decked out in a hazmat suit. And Harry and Nora, did you come in with them, or are you still out in the car?
Yeah, they insisted we come with, so.
Okay. They look up at Harry and Nora. Excuse me. Welcome to Argyros.
Finger up, tuning fork out, looking at reading.
You're not getting anything in this immediate area.
Don't mind my.
This area
colleague
seems
here.
clear.
Thank you, Doctor.
Clear. Who are
we
you
are-
people?
We are from a health inspection. We have to make sure that everything is clean and up to date. This is an urgent response.
I'm gonna have to call my supervisor about this. Like, we can't just let random people like just come in here or something. And they pick up the phone and start dialing a number. Like, yeah, hey boss. We got some people here saying they're health inspectors. Yeah, that's what they said. No. Excuse me. Who are you from? Where are you from?
We are from the health department.
Give me a
Minnesota Department of Health.
Shush.
Give me a
You're
charisma
Swedish,
check.
you don't know.
We're Jeff from Health and Safety. We're both
Got a
Jeff.
35. My 35 on. Yeah, that's what I rolled.
Oh, is that a pass for you?
It's a pass. I have a 75.
Oh,
Wow.
It's a hard
you're
pass.
perfect.
That's
Oh, you are
hard
very
pass.
charismatic.
Hard success.
Very charismatic. Terribly anxious all the time.
So how are you doing anything to like try and sell this like Department
Yes,
of Health and
I am,
Safety Connect?
I'm motioning to the full hazmat suit that me and my colleague are wearing, and then I motion to the agent and lieutenant as they are for security escorts.
Yeah.
Because this is a very clandestine site, and you don't want anything getting out, and we don't want anything getting out either. So we clearly want all of your security measures intact with ours, as well as health and safety.
They go back to the phone. Yeah, they seem legit. No, I mean I don't have anything on the schedule, but I mean they wouldn't tell us ahead of time. I guess like surprise inspection.
Yes, surprise inspection.
Yeah, surprise inspection. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And she puts down the phone. And they look up at you and it's like, come this way. And they push a button and you can hear that you hear a click from the front door behind you, and you can also hear a click from the doors that are like you can hear it from the back behind the little half wall area, but you can't see them yet. Sorry, just making sure that while we're going through the facilities, nobody can come in and interrupt us.
Oh, of course.
I guess yeah, come this way. And they step out around and lead you kind of around the door. So what you see as the receptionist is leading you through is he's standing up next to he's leading you through past a couple like windows like exterior style windows, but on an inside wall that are looking into some lab areas that have been set up. Barnabas, you, with your biology knowledge, you recognize a lot of the things in this room as something called a bioreactor, which is a kind of like a continuous growth chamber. Like if you were going to grow something, like you have actually worked with something like this in the past too, like in cases where you were growing lots of protein or you needed to grow up a lot of a sample of like a plasmid from bacteria or something. Like you might have used one of these bioreactors to just grow a lot of the bacteria that you needed, or that people use them for yeast, or like in some cases people use them for like making like synthetic meat and stuff like that. So you recognize that they have a couple small and mid-size bioreactors in this room, and as you pass that room, you can see that they've got some like it looks like a kitchen, but a very like half like chemistry lab, half kitchen kind of area, and you can see a couple people at work. They're like pulling things out of some industrial size like ovens. They've got some blenders that they're working with, and the receptionist is saying, well, yeah, we've got the growth room here, and you can see that we've got our product R&D through this in this lab here. They're testing out some new varieties, some new flavors of our flagship products. I'm sure you've heard of some of our products. We are the fastest growing company in the tech market in the northern part of the country, like food supplement, meal replacements. Like, it's a very exclusive category, and we are the fastest growing. And, we hope that, we've got our we're hoping to go public pretty soon, and we're hoping to, make a real big splash on the supplement market here. So, just whichever room you need to see first. I've been instructed to give you full access to everything that is here. So
we'd like to
just,
see where this is manufactured. I will hold up the the empty silver packet with the faulty map on the back.
Oh, that? They take it and look at it. Yeah, I don't know who makes this. This is not one of ours.
Well,
and-
it's clearly intended to be branded consistent with your product. Hold up.
Yeah, that is the strangest thing. And they're turning it and looking at it.
Might want to get legal on it because a reasonable person might assume that this is a product of your company, and if any harm or health issues should arise from the use of it, you could be liable.
Yeah, let me pulls out a notebook and writes down. Do you mind if I keep this? I'm gonna get legal on this. If we're, I mean, this is kind of exciting. If we're already getting copycat products, and that like the marketing team is going to be really happy about this. But yeah, we need to get legal on this.
You should also show us where your 5-hour energy is manufactured. We'll need a sample.
Yeah, so that is we don't make that here. We just do some of the flavor testing. That's made off site. But
any sample you have on
see...
site will be sufficient. Then you can direct us to your manufacturing facility.
Yeah. I'll get you some of that information.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
I will, obviously, as soon as she returns with a sample from their tasting lab, I will scan it to see if it contains any of the hinky.
Yeah. It reads clean.
Of course, they're not going to poison their own people. I say in my mind, not.
Yell it out loud.
Yeah. This appears to be fine. So yes, we will need to visit your manufacturing facility. And to confirm that this other substance is not being manufactured by your company.
I can get you that info. I'm gonna need I'll need to talk, trade secrets and all that. I might need some time to get you some of that information and get you cleared to go over there. But I'll talk to my managers and see if we can get some people over there.
Do you have a shipping and receiving bay?
Yeah, we do. And
check that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually so our shipping and receiving is it's over it's across town. It's not that far from here, but it's a bit of ways. We don't actually do, we just we bring over some of the materials here, and all of our shipping and receiving, all the logistics is done over at the other building.
Is that at the corner of Central and West 17th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to pull up the property
Just
records
Google
and
it.
stuff, and you know exactly where it is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I noticed that you didn't have your hand washing policy posted next to the utility sink.
Oh, we don't? Oh.
If it was there, I didn't see it, and it's meant to be clearly visible.
Of
Yeah.
course, yes.
You might want to update that.
They pull off. There's a couple like racks for like papers and folders on the walls with like safety and fire plans and hazard plans and stuff, and they go over and they look at it. It's like, and they're paging through and looking over at the hand wash. They're like, yeah, there definitely should be. That make another note. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll make sure that those are posted.
Great. I guess we'll go to the shipping facility now.
Okay.
Aside from a few minor infractions, this facility appears to be compliant.
Oh, that's really good news. I'll be glad to pass that on to my boss.
Yeah, and none of the people here, like, there's just like, it's dead. There's no pings whatsoever.
Yeah,
Okay.
This whole place is clean.
Cool.
I will take some snacks.
Yeah, there's a.
Well,
There's a
we have to
there's
test them anyway.
Yeah, just for testing.
And health inspectors
There's a
get things
bowl
for free.
of Chex
They
Mix and a bowl of individually wrapped mints by the front door.
5-hour energy bars.
Yeah, there's some
bad.
product samples.
Yeah.
Take someone's lunch from the fridge.
Right. Wow.
Ham sandwich.
In Tupperware that has like a label on it. Like, who's Judy? I don't care.
She should have known better.
Okay. So the rest of your kind of visit there, you've pretty much seen everything there is to see here. Are you heading over to the logistics department?
Yes.
What is it?
Okay.
Is it lunchtime?
There's snacks in the car.
You can eat in the car. It's fine. I'll drive.
It's probably around like 10:30ish by now, so I don't know that it would be like really like lunchtime yet.
It's brunch time, so snack.
Assuming that the office building for our Gyros is in St. Cloud. It's probably only like a 30-minute drive.
Oh, so didn't Agent Nora like eat like 7 breakfasts?
Yeah,
I have a fast metabolism.
it's true. We got like a pound of bacon and like a pound of frosting and a half a pound of dough. So,
1 second.
I am not looking forward to sharing my bathroom with you. I'm just saying. If this is how you eat.
She sits there chewing on things.
So as you drive away, I
don't know how to roll that.
Yeah, just give me a babble roll.
Okay. I have 100 in Babel though, so
Yeah, I would say Harry and Nora, as you are pulling out of the driveway, you see the corner of a familiar looking SUV disappear around the corner a block away.
When you say familiar, what do you mean by familiar? Where did
Meaning
you say
Like we
probably
saw it
the
this
one we
morning.
saw at the fire. Yeah,
Right.
we're being followed.
Yeah.
turnabout is fair play. Follow them.
Harry, are you Harry, are you the one driving, or
Handler
Nora, are you driving?
I'm driving, yeah.
Okay.
The handler
Yeah.
instructed us to stay away, but
Yeah, but didn't say anything about them
Yeah.
following us.
Yeah, and who cares about her?
all right, I'm gonna get my weapons ready.
Yeah. So as
Max
you,
doesn't give good advice, just so we're clear. This is the character, the player, not so much, but the character 100% is follow them.
Yeah. Give me a how are you gonna try and do this? Are you just like gunning it and being obvious, or are you gonna try and go after them while being stealthy?
Like, oh, we didn't see them. We just happened to also be going this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a drive check.
We ran into a light pole.
Oh my god, 14. That actually passed.
Ooh.
But,
Oh
yeah,
God, you have 20 in drive.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I should be driving.
Yeah, I didn't
you-
realize until I looked at it.
You have the base rating of drive.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was snacking. I'm sorry.
I genuinely thought I had a
snack and
higher roll, and I looked at, oh yeah, nope, didn't pay anything on drive. Anyway,
Yeah.
didn't need it. I passed.
Yeah. So you are driving the best dang driving of your life. You are very like somehow you're hitting all of the right notes of like you got to be fast right here, you got to slow down, and like they are driving going around the corner, and they are actually heading in a similar direction of the like of where you had to go anyway. It's like where they're going is like you knew that the shipping facility was going to be kind of on like the outskirts, not like in like the center of town, but kind of like out where the rent is cheaper and people don't mind trucks coming through. and you know that you're getting near that area as you are driving out, and like, you know, they're speeding ahead and you are keeping pace like a block away to the right, and they're doing like dodges and turns, and but you are careful. You always keep the sight line of the driver and all of the passengers. Like you always make sure that they never have like a clear view of like more than like a corner of your windshield or a bit of your headlight or something like that. As you're going along, and eventually you realize that they've stopped outside of a what looks to be an abandoned brewery. There's a really faded sign that says Goldstone Brewery that is up at the like, you know, at the front of it, and you can see that there's kind of like, it's a small building. Like there's one small building that has some offices, and there is some other like a larger building that looks like you could drive like a truck up to it and like do some loading and unloading. But it also, like, there's like grass and weeds growing up through cracks in the pavement, and it, you know, there's like graffiti all over, and there is like, you know, like it looks like some people have been sleeping or breaking into like different parts of the yard, and just this place looks like nobody has used it in at least 10 years.
Hey, Lieutenant Primrose, well done. We only had to remind you to drive on the right side of the road once.
So what's the plan? What's the next plan now then?
Are you just kind of watching to see what they do?
Yeah, hang back and see what they do.
I think that'd be best. Yeah.
You can see that the same 5 people get out of the SUV, and they are all carrying weapons. Harry and Nora, it's been kind of in the back of your mind for a while, but now, like, Harry, because you got such a good roll, you managed to find a spot where like you have a really good sight line to them as they're getting out. You're only like 100 feet away, but you're in a spot where they would have to know that you were there in order to see and spot you. You realize that like you don't recognize the like, you don't recognize the uniforms or the equipment that they're wearing. Like, you obviously recognize them for what they are, which is like tactical helmets, tactical armor. You know, you recognize that they are carrying weapons that are like shotguns and pistols and stuff, but you do not recognize the guns that they're carrying. You don't recognize the armor that they're wearing or the helmets that they're wearing. I
shout out, not shout out at Agent, but I was like, I don't recognize any of this, what they wearing or what they're holding. Like, I don't. Do you know this? Do you recognize it?
Kind of crazy that I wouldn't recognize.
Yeah. Do they have any
manufactured? That's a big brand. So it's not like AK-47. It's not M4. It's not, you know, any of those 249. Nothing.
We're a bit away. But is there a vague signature coming from them? A little bit of a variance.
Oh, yeah. You're picking up, now that you know what to look for, you're picking up like faint pings from that direction.
Ooh.
Barnabas, you are looking, and this is something that only you would know because of like your expertise with biology. You can see some trash that is here and there that's scattered on the ground. You recognize some of what is there. Like, you can see that some of the trash is like standard like molecular microbiology lab equipment, like the like plastic packaging that, like, you know, 50 ml conical vials would come in, or like your growth flasks, or you recognize like the labels on some of the cardboard boxes as like lab suppliers and stuff.
Intriguing.
We see any security from here? Like, is there any security posted outside? Any cameras? Anything obvious?
Nope. You can see that the 5 men, they stood around for a second. They were looking around. They were looking around to see if anybody was watching. They didn't spot you, and they start to head inside.
Interesting.
Oh,
Doctor, you said Barnabas, you said that intriguing. What do you mean by intriguing?
Oh, there is some lab equipment and stuff strewn about outside.
Anything to be concerned about, or
Possibly.
anything big enough to manufacture large quantities of?
Not strewn about outside, no.
I mean, because this is an old brewery, so this would be a good place to set up a factory-style
A chemical shop.
place for a knockoff.
Indeed. Did you get a good read on anything they have?
Didn't even recognize what kind of weapons they're. I mean, types, I could tell they're like a shotgun type or submachine gun or rifle, but aside from that, I don't know the brand at all. Like the actual weapon type. I don't
Yeah.
recognize it.
You probably wouldn't.
in what way do you mean by that?
They might not be local.
Well, local doesn't mean anything. I could tell you what a Russian rifle looks like, or what other countries' weapons are.
They might be very not local.
Oh. So
They each detect as having a quantum variance.
Or if they're friends of the mirrors.
We've got 2
Potentially.
people with assault rifles. I don't know how many more people are inside, and they would be in the defense. So I don't like those odds.
So you would need
But
a...
you want a 5-to-1 ratio when there's.
Well, the question is this: why were they at Lloyd's place? They clearly
they're
were
uploading public videos. So
well. They were very interested in and risked themselves running into a burning building to deal with what we have to assume was Lloyd's hand. They didn't. They were looking.
Yeah.
They were
So they didn't
looking
go for Lloyd, did they? They went.
They went for the hand, and their first action was to throw in some sort of concussive device. So it didn't look like they were there to worship it. Not saying that they aren't cultists or whatever, but
didn't see them come out with like a bag or anything, did we? When they returned to the van?
You saw that they went in and came out with large, like cylindrical packs on their back
They had the backpack
with
thing.
a tube that kind of came off them.
yeah, maybe they
Kind
were.
of looks like somebody strapped a shop vac to their back.
It may very well have been that they blew it up and vacuumed up the evidence. Now, it could just be that they didn't want, that they're part of some sort of plot and they didn't want any evidence falling into people's hands until whatever doomsday scenario comes true. Or they could be working to prevent whatever doomsday scenario the cult is involved in. Who knows?
Oh, you're thinking actually they're
I don't know.
not against.
I don't know.
I don't know, they don't seem fans of us though.
They don't seem fans of us, but they didn't shoot us.
True.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
They attempted to warn us off. But
Probably will if we
just
try to-
saying, we should keep an open mind. There's
Is there only
a
one
lot at
vehicle
play here.
parked outside?
There's only one vehicle.
And we saw all 5 of them go in.
Mm-hmm.
Same 5 from before.
Yes. As far as you can tell from 100 feet away.
Right.
can update our handler and ask if her ROE has changed.
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
Because I have a feeling this manufacturing plant is just going to be more of the same.
Well, we should verify that if it's dirty, then perhaps that is evidence in the favor that these people are maybe a wild card. If it's clean, then we need to determine if they're manufacturing this stuff here. How are they? My question is, how are they, whoever they are, tainting the legitimate product? Because it also has that we found had a small quantum variation. But either way, I think we need to verify whether that contamination happens in the manufacturing process or later.
Go to handle it then.
One of us could stay here. It shouldn't take long to go and investigate. One of us could stay here and watch.
We wanting to risk it?
Or we can just pop over there. It's relatively nearby. Pop over there, do our business, come back and stick it out till they leave again. Under the hopes that there aren't many of them. I agree, going in when there's at least 5 armed people inside, potentially more, is foolhardy.
Indubitably.
Yeah, the thing is if we leave someone behind, we should leave a pair behind, and I don't... I feel like we need both of you wherever with your expertise, but I don't want to leave you two alone without someone that knows how to shoot. So...
Well, I don't think we'll be doing any shooting where we're going.
Never know.
It's good to be prepared.
I am not well with a firearm, or else I'd ask you for one.
I would absolutely not give you my firearm.
Well, update the handler first.
Yep.
See what she has to say.
So we're safe enough that no one else better sort of, like you said, hear us or see us.
Yeah, there's nobody walking around.
I'll give handler a call then. He can explain what's going on, where we are right now and stuff.
Okay. She picks up. Yes, hello? What have you found out?
I basically explained what's basically happened since updated. I think the last update was we were going to the hospital for Lloyd, I think. So just explaining where we are now and what we've seen.
Yeah. You say that you're at a brewery. You saw a team of armed men go into the brewery.
Same team.
Same team.
All of which express a quantum variance.
Okay.
Carrying unrecognized equipment.
Yep.
How many weapons do you have with you?
I have 2 pistols and my M4.
I have a taser.
Oh, and a shotgun.
So,
yeah, taser and OC spray, but
rifle.
And you said they were all armed?
Few grenades.
Yes.
Look like a yes.
we don't know how
Okay.
many are inside.
Are they still in there?
Yes.
Unless
Unless
there's a
they've left
rear
somewhere else.
entrance. Yeah, unless there's a rear entrance.
But they haven't left the car. No, sorry, the car hasn't left.
Okay. I have been doing some digging on my own. I think that those armed soldiers, I think that they're Argyros staff. I think that they're Argyros security team. You need to get in there. I need you. I don't think you can, but I need. What I need you to do is stop them and make sure that they do not get back to Argyros. I don't know if you can. At the very least, you need to get in there and find out what they're doing.
If they wanted to go back to Argyros, they could have done so.
I have an idea of what you'll find in there.
You should share it, perhaps.
Whatever you... if you do find what I think you're going to find in there. Don't believe her lies. And she hangs up.
Oh, I don't want to go in there.
I don't believe her lies.
All right, I'm gonna pull out the first aid kit and refill my eye pack because I'm down some stuff after using it on
Okay.
Lloyd.
Are there any small rocks and pebbles nearby?
Oh, plenty.
Okay, good.
Do you know how? Okay.
Do you have a slingshot that you're gonna?
Oh, I was going to put them in.
I am gonna teach you how to fire a taser.
I was going to put the rocks in the gas tank of their
I mean, you
vehicle.
could just fill it with water.
I don't have any water.
Mountain Dew.
And
do
the rest
have
of the
that.
Mountain
Do
Dew.
you have some Mountain Dew?
Yeah,
I'll have to
sugar
buy
does
more later.
really bad
Yeah.
stuff to you.
Or
I'll
you
have
can
blast
take
the gas tank.
Oh geez, what is it called? The cap in under the hood. You take one of the.
The oil cap?
Well,
Coolant?
Nope. Yes.
Radiator,
oh,
Radiator.
coolant. Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Take
or
that.
or just rip out the battery. And there's all kinds of things.
Yeah, steal the spark plugs. Yeah,
But that depends where the battery is.
True.
spark plugs would probably be easier. Or just,
We're gonna screw up that car 7 ways.
So the car's ruined. What about
Yeah.
the people inside?
It doesn't take long to mess up this car because, as already established, the window is completely cracked open. You can just reach in, grab and like pop the hood, grab, just do whatever, just ruin that engine. Toss the battery in the sewer, whatever you want to do. As you're doing that, you hear a single gunshot from the inside the brewery.
We gotta go.
And you hear some raised voices.
like inside the brewery, not coming from the brewery towards us.
Like inside the brewery. Like
Okay.
someone is having an argument.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta get in
Can we
there.
make out what they're saying, or is it just noise?
No, you can't make out what they're saying.
Right, guys.
We go back into hiding.
I have a fairly good
See if
idea.
anyone comes running out.
No, we're going in.
In? Oh, okay.
You sure?
I mean,
Yeah,
Max
you
is
throw it
going
on
in.
first.
What
All right.
weapons do you guys have? I do quickly teach Crodmeyer how to operate a taser. Like,
I have
this
a
is how
weapon.
you.
Yeah.
What is your weapon? A crowbar?
Yes.
Mighty crowbar.
Stay behind me.
I have a
I've
taser, but it's not out.
Is yours a taser that fires, or is it just a stun?
I think it's a taser
Okay.
that fires.
Taser fires, a stun gun doesn't.
Yes, that's true. I have a taser.
But a firing taser can also be a stun gun if you just take the cartridge out.
You can also just throw it and tape the
Nope.
button down.
Nope. Then they have a taser. All right.
Let's not
So while
antagonize.
we have an
let's,
argument between tasers and stun guns.
let's not antagonize them further. Perhaps a diplomatic approach
Guess we're sneaking
would
around.
be useful.
I'm not sneaking anywhere.
So as you approach to the garage area where the brewing equipment would be, like the holding fermentation tanks and stuff, Barnabas, you notice there is a really distinctive smell. It smells like, you know that you can see that this place has not been in active use in a long time, but it smells like stuff is growing in large amounts. Like it smells like a brewery. And as you come up, the voices get more distinct as you get closer to the kind of roll up doors. And are you approaching, like, are you gonna try and go, because there is a staff, like an entrance door into the actual brewing facility itself, and there is also like doors into the like office complex area.
Where are the voices coming from?
They're coming from the brewery, from the
aren't there-
like brewing equipment room.
Aren't there broken windows that we can peer through,
The
perhaps?
windows of the roll up, like the roll up aluminum doors, are broken, and that's what you can hear through.
Mm.
And as you get closer, you can start to hear a single voice that is yelling and loud. It's a really deep male voice that is yelling, and you can start to hear phrases like what was your goal here? Did you really think that you could do this safely? I mean, if it, you hear the phrase like went rogue, you hear like doppelganger thrown around a few times. And you can also hear a quieter voice. It sounds a little familiar, like responding, a woman's voice. Like you can't hear what she's saying though.
Yeah. Max is just gonna walk on in.
We'll quickly follow him.
Yeah.
Barnabas will take up the rear.
And and making it clear before, just like hands up.
Okay. As you walk in, you see the four men surrounding, like standing in kind of like a semicircle, pointing their weapons at a woman who is seated unbound in a chair. And the large man that you saw earlier, he is standing like kind of in front of her and looking. He looks over at you as you enter, and you can actually see as you enter that his left eye is gleaming like a diamond in his skull. And the woman that you can see, she, if you saw her and your handler, like you recognize her, it's your handler, but it's not. She's wearing different clothes. She's haggard, distressed. She's thinner. She looks like she hasn't been eating well, or showering recently at all. As you look around at the room, you can see that Barnabas, you recognize what this facility is. Someone is using it as a microbio like brewing operation. Someone is doing lots of experimentation and active fermentation in these tanks. Someone is using this facility off the grid. You see like lots more lab refuse scattered all around.
Ooh, very intriguing.
Nora and Harry, once you get close, Nora, your suspicions are, correct. You definitely don't recognize any of this equipment now that you're up close. And Harry, now that you're getting a good up close look, you can see what Nora was talking about. That it's like, it's small things like, the kind of weapon they have. They wouldn't use that kind of, like, you don't recognize the rail mounts that they're using. You don't, like, the shape of the grip is wrong for that kind of a weapon. Like, different things about, like, conventions about how you fit out a soldier like them. Like, it's someone has a different approach to doing things, it looked like.
They're wearing low-vis jeans. Mm-hmm. Max just like, no need for alarm, no need for violence, just here to talk.
He looks over at you and I told you, I gave you a friendly warning. Curiosity would get you killed. And he he's not pointing his weapon up at you, but he's kind of stepping back so that he can look at both you and the person in the chair easily.
I get the sense that we're after the same thing.
Hello, I'm a doctor. I've never met any of you.
This is Dr. Crodmeyer.
I'm standing close to Max in case fire starts happening because he doesn't have a vest on, and I assume Elsie is covering Barnabas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm peeking my head behind him.
Yeah.
Like,
I am
"Oh,
absolutely ready to tackle Max and fire if need
it's
be.
fine. Everyone can de-escalate. It's all right. Perhaps we can find a way to resolve the situation and keep this little incursion a secret. I think we can all agree that that would be preferable. Even you, and I will address the handler.
She looks up at you. She called you all here, didn't she? Oh,
Yes.
You have to kill her. You have to kill these men. You don't know what's happening. You have no idea what's going on here. You have to kill everyone. You don't you don't know what's going on. And then one of the four men that had been standing behind her kind of comes up and puts like a gag around her mouth.
We're not here to kill anyone. Just looking for some answers.
The big guy, he looks at you. Well, I don't know that I'm gonna. No, sorry, hang on a second. Now, what happens next depends on how much you know. I
Is
don't
knowing
like
a lot a good
these-
thing or a bad thing?
He doesn't really react. He just kind of gives like a smile. I'll be honest, I don't like these cleanup jobs. It's a lot of really dirty work that I never really signed up for, but it's got to happen. They've got our eyes on us. And he looks over at his men. We can at least hear these people out. Pull up a chair. And he gestures to some folding chairs that are sat around. We were just having a good little conversation here with our little problem.
I'll stand.
Do you mind? It's just a
Yeah.
scientific device.
Yeah.
I will scan. I will scan her. Does
She
have...
no reading.
Ah.
But everything else in this room, absolutely loaded. It's like this so much quantum fluctuation in this room that if you hadn't walked in here yourself, you would have said that this room doesn't exist.
So she's a local. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, obviously. That's why we're here.
Interesting.
I mean, now it seems like you two know each other. And he's looking back and forth between you and the woman.
Having heard the phrase, well, we know her doppelganger. We work for her, in fact. Well, we didn't realize, obviously.
He
at
kind of
first.
stiffens. You've met her.
Yes. I mean, we thought it was her.
The woman is like yeah, she's, you can hear her kind of like indistinctly yelling through the gag, and like shouting when you mention the doppelganger. And he looks, he's like, take her into the other room. And one of the other men kind of drags her chair out. The big man, I need to look up. He looks at you. Name's Virgil.
Hi, Virgil. I'm Max.
I know.
Oh.
We normally this is against protocol, but everything about this is against protocol. Now, by all rights, I should kill her. I should kill you. And I should loot through your possessions, find the woman that you've been in contact with, and go find her and eliminate her. Like I said, I don't like these cleanup ops. So, you tell me where she is. We go find her. We all go our separate ways, and none of this happened.
I think we'd want to make sure that we were making a wise decision. I think my friends would want to make sure that we were making a wise decision. So, not out of curiosity, just out of due diligence, don't you give us just a little bit more? We're very attached to, things being smooth here.
And that Dr. Barnabas is sitting down and taking a small snack out of his pocket and eating it.
Frankly, I would like to go back and do my day job. Couldn't really do that if there was some sort of ongoing incursion and we were furthering that. So just want to make sure that we understand your priorities a bit better.
Well,
Other
if you're
than killing a
here-
bunch of people.
Okay. Sounds like you want to do this difficult way. If you're here, you know some of it. I gather that thing tells you what, and he kind of gestures to his eye with his other hand.
Yeah.
He's always watching, Doesn't really care about anything that we do. He's always watching. He likes to get his roots in you. And he looks around. Sure, you saw that knockoff. The packets.
Yes.
She was making it here. She was brewing a god.
Oh.
So
That
God.
her or the other her?
the one in the other room.
Ah. Oh.
We lost contact with our agent several weeks ago. Standard procedure is that she comes in, she finds her local copy, eliminates them, takes over, and everything goes smoothly from there. This time, the local fought back. We lost contact. We found where the scuffle came down, and we saw that both of them left the scene alive, and that's where our job comes in. Our job is to clean up when things like that go wrong. So we found her. The one that has evaded us for quite a while, but it sounds like you can give us what we need.
It sounds like
And-
she's attempting to do her job. Having failed at replacement, she's trying to shut this down. That's why she called us in.
She called you in when the knockoff hit the market.
Mm.
So, I
And
don't
she
know if,
wants this one dead, to be clear.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, like I said, standard protocol. When a fill-in, when a cuckoo op goes wrong, standard protocol is we come in, we kill off both of them, we'll get them out of the picture, and try again. Maybe we back off of this realm.
Ah. Is he lying?
You give me,
Human?
give me a human. Then anyone else who's listening, if you want to give me a human, can.
Barnabas is not listening.
19.
Ooh, I got a 22.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Yeah, he is absolutely telling the truth. And anyone who passed can tell he's telling the truth. Nora, not only is he telling the truth, this sounds like a speech that he has wanted to say for a while. Like the other people around, like once they dragged off the woman into the other room, his kind of minions have been posted up around the room. They're, keeping a lookout. They're kind of ignoring whatever boss is saying. He looks like you get a feeling of like relief that he can finally like spill the beans about some of this stuff. Like clearly he is complying with the mission and with orders, but he's not happy about it.
Yeah, I don't really like that he's relieved. I more want to know if he intends to kill us.
Yeah, you get the sense that he is like the more you get the sense that he hasn't made up his mind yet.
Yeah. He doesn't want to.
Okay.
Barnabas,
Yes.
as you're snacking,
Yeah.
you have kind of noticed that the tanks, the big fermentation tanks, like there's the standard kind of, swirling, bubbling. There is also a very faint kind of glassy tinkle underneath the standard noise. And so he looks at you. Virgil looks at you, or around at all of you. I would rather, if you can give us the local, or no, if you can let us take the local, give us our copy. We can all, I can report back that mission accomplished. We cleaned up. We removed the local threat. You probably know about Argyros. If you're willing to walk away from all of this, let us have both of them, then this all goes away.
And what happens to all this?
Yes, can we
Mysterious fire?
Can we shut this down? All this bubbling and mixings?
Yeah, that's more for that's the egghead's job. I usually solve this with something like this with a bomb. So we've already got the place wired up.
Won't that contaminate the grounds and cause future problems?
Yeah, we can. If we
I feel like the flora will not.
It's true.
Do well in such an environment.
And you have an expert right here.
When an op blows like this, we pull out. And once Rom loses his sight on the local ground, his pieces should stop growing and should wither away. At least, I have never been on charge of an op that failed before, so I don't know for sure, but that's what it says in the operating procedures.
Interesting. Well, now I have a perspective, but I don't speak for everyone. Do you mind if we have a little confab?
No, go ahead. He walks over to the corner of the room.
Seems pretty straightforward to me.
So basically, our handler messed up their mission, called us in to try to clean it up discreetly.
Which we are not.
Well, yeah.
Well,
But then they called in the big guns anyway. And basically is trying to use us to save herself. Is that?
I suspect that once her mission went south, she knew the protocol was a clean sweep. And so she hoped that perhaps if she could recruit some locals to help save the mission, perhaps she might be spared.
What do we do now then?
Well, we can comply with the friendly armed men who, at least from my read, do intend to shut this operation down. Let them clean up and get on their way. Or we try to shoot it out of here and then have who knows what kind of reinforcements they might be able to summon.
I hate to hand her over, but I mean, she lied to us.
I mean, well, we don't know where she is.
No, but we do briefings with her every morning. I'm sure if we lied and said, "Hey, this is what happened. We ended up in a shootout and killed these 5 men," and next morning we usually get a debrief.
Or we can just let them, like, I mean, it might be simpler just to say, "Oh, they've the other you is in custody, the situation is under control, you should come here.
Yes.
Virgil has agreed that the op isn't completely blown. And maybe Virgil will agree that the op isn't completely blown.
That's if she comes.
Yeah. And if she doesn't come, then the op is definitely completely blown. In which case, her days are limited. I mean, we can try an angle that doesn't result in both of them dying. But if indeed the local one is a cultist, I don't care about anything else other than stopping that.
Agreed.
That sort of thing can't be
Just
allowed to get out of control.
Just to be clear, these guys are from like another dimension or something. I'm a little lost on.
Yeah, I mean, no, but sure.
The less you know, Agent, the less you know.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I mean, you already know way too much. We all do. But no, not precisely, but close enough. In a colloquial sense, yes. That's what this is for.
Yeah. So. Okay. I mean, Harry, you're the one that's been talking to her, but I guess we should let him know the plan, see how he wants us to approach it. That way we're less to blame if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like, yeah. We'd like, no one wants to share out, do we? Do we want to share out?
I mean, I don't.
If we did, now would be the time while they're split up, but no, I do not.
Yeah.
Especially with all this contaminated stuff around.
Yeah.
And explosives in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might just decide to blow the whole thing into a smoking crater, including themselves.
Right.
They sound like something that they would go, you know what, let's just clean it up this way. And
Honestly, we're like them. I mean, we're agents that were called on to do a job. Here we are.
Yeah.
Just doing a job.
Sure.
Well, me at least.
Virgil.
Yeah, let's.
Yes. He walks back over from the other side of the room. So what is it?
Well, we don't know. We don't know where she is holed up, but we can get in contact with her. We thought it might, and she knew that we were coming here. We thought it might be most effective to tell her that we have met with you, that the other one is in custody, and that you have agreed that as long as she returns, that the operation isn't completely blown. So the cleanup protocol doesn't need to happen. That would be easier than us, given that we reported in just before we came here. I don't know how canny she is, but if we're not super convincing and lying to her, she might, sniff it out and go to ground.
He looks down at the ground. Risky plan. It's a risky plan.
You got an alternative?
He just kind of cocks his head over towards the nearest of his men. Yeah, of course I do. But I'd rather not go that route. And yeah, he looks up at you and he nods. Now, first thing I'll need Barnabas. Or not Barnabas. So, yeah, he looks over directly at Dr. Codmeyer. He's like, Barnabas, we've got some scalpels over here. I need you to get this thing out of my head.
Right away.
And after he says that, he looks around at the rest of you. First time I've ever made a deal with the local devils. But there's a first time for everything.
But we're the local angels.
And with that, we can camera pull out, and you can see that your team and Virgil are kind of nodding at each other. You have made an uneasy bargain and truce. You have decided to trade away your handler that you thought you knew, her local doppelganger, to this team of cleanup op team, and you're gonna try and bring the alternative, the doppelganger handler, into their custody.
Yep. And to be clear, we're gonna want to talk to the local too, to make sure that there isn't some other layer.
Yeah. We can metaphorical fade to credits as we hear that you all talking to each other about what are you going to do, how are you going to do this. Come on, Ruby, you're being a pain.
Post-credit scene flashback. Dr. Crodmeyer has been mainlining the extreme.
That is a very bad idea.
No.
But if you want to do that,
no,
I have something prepared for that.
No. Unless.
Okay. Cool. And with that, we can leave it for next session, which I believe is in a week's time.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for playing once again, for being players in this strange tale that I cooked up. And all of you out there in Twitch chat, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you also had a great time. I have had a blast, so I hope that everybody else has, playing and watching. So I am Chev. I am today's handler for the game. Usually I am a player, but I looked at, the system for this, and, some ideas started popping around. But you can usually find me just chilling in either, the chat for one of these C+ content games, or in one of the other chats of the various streamers in the community. I do stream myself on Tuesdays and Saturdays playing Mahjong, which is a tile or card game. Just trying to have a chill environment, some cat cam with the cat that I've been occasionally trying to get out of the way, listen to some chill music, just playing some card games. So if that sounds like a chill vibe, then I hope you stop on by. And let's go over to Warwick. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello. So yeah, I'm Warwick Zero. If I'm not here, you will find me streaming on my channel, same name. I do a lot of just chatting and quite a lot of horror games. I like to get scared and get paid for it. So, and people like to scare me, so it's a win-win. And yeah, that's me.
I am the Backwin. I stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays usually. I play a variety of different games. This week, though, I'm doing mostly TTRPGs. So I'll be back on Thursday with Zero Daylight and Elwood Expedition. And then I'll be back here on Sunday for more Twin Falls.
I'm SJ Sidekick. I am SJ Sidekick everywhere, but I don't actually stream. You can usually find me here. I play in a lot of games, like this one, and then upcoming Teen Justice Academy, and I actually narrate Spectrum Squad. Yeah, that's about it.
Spectrum Squad hype.
Spectrum Squad.
You're right. Woo. I am Zero Daylight or Michael. You can catch me here at C+ Content a couple times a week, usually writing, sometimes playing. You can catch me on Wednesdays at Duckworks channel, on like a Friday here and there over at My Fair Kelly's channel, and this evening and most Sundays over at the Juices TV program and Licity channels on Twitch. So yeah, that is us. If you would like to, if you're curious about what we do and you are new to us or relatively new, go ahead and head over to cpluscontent.tv. That is our YouTube channel. That is where all of our stuff winds up being posted. And it's nicely sorted by theme. So if you like kind of spooky stuff like this, you can actually pick up a chronological order of everything that's happened in Willow Bluff, and some other one-shots limited series. We've got sci-fi, we've got adventures, we've got all of the Teen Justice Academy teen superheroes, fun and delightfulness. organized together. So go ahead and head over there. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It is free. Hit the little alert bell next to it so you can be notified when new content appears there, which is roughly 24 hours after we broadcast live here. And if you're really interested, you can head over to community.c+content.tv, which is our Discord channel that you can join up and say hi and learn about what we have on the docket for later, share memes and chat about nerdy stuff and pictures of dice and painted minis, you name it. Lots of every way. Yes. And fantastic, beautiful fan art. So yeah, please, if you are not already, connect with us every way that you can. Let's see, coming up next, I think we covered most of it. We've got part 2 and part 3 of the Elwood Expedition, which is our Last for the Awful Sea, Powered by the Apocalypse limited series on the next 2 Thursdays. We have tonight the first of 2 episodes of Storyville PD, which is a game I wrote this week, which is also powered by the Apocalypse. It is beloved fairy tale characters who are also hard-bitten and probably corrupt cops solving crime. And then at beginning of April, we've got BFF Computer, and on the 20th or whatever, some Tuesday in a couple of weeks, we have The Real Thing, which is another Powered by the Apocalypse game inspired by the music of Faith No More, and one of its creators will be joining us. They have a Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter and search The Real Thing RPG. I think it's going live next week, but you might be able to get into the pre-notification thing. Anyway, so that is us. We should go and raid someone, and I think it's generally our custom, and we should do it to go over and hang out with Lissa T, who is fantastic and wonderful in every way. So let's make that happen. Let me drop the raid calls in. So grab one of those and let us head over to Lissa. No, I can't do it that way. I have to type raid first. Derp. That worked. Cool. Awesome. We're going to go hang out with her, come back this evening, and enjoy what is sure to be a lot of fairy tale noir shenanigans. And we will see you in the coming days and weeks for more of this. Thanks, everybody. Oh. Bye. And